due process rights that those parents or guardians have when it comes to the investigation and legal process. A DHR employee would also be required to have more training before being able to remove a child from their home. Pascal says this bill does not impede DHR from acting quickly if a child is in danger. Many of those who attended the public hearing in support of the bill say that they have been affected by being wrongfully investigated and having their child removed from their home. DHR Commissioner Nancy Buckner says the bill's requirements will lead to more children dying. State Representative Pascal indicated he's willing to amend the bill to address the concerns that were expressed by Buckner and others at that hearing. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held this past Wednesday in Coleman County for a new Agriculture and Family Consumer Science Center that is located at the Fairview High School. The purpose of this new center is to offer classes that prepare students for the workforce. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
You want your floors to scream new, fresh, and stylish. But if yours are groaning, tired, old, and outdated, you're in luck. Because the Prattville Spring Sale is your opportunity to revitalize your floors while you save on the best brands available, including Mohawk, with perfect and professional installation and Prattville's unbeatable lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Start shopping now at prattvillecarpet.com.
Adams Drugs has been committed to the healthcare of the people of the River Region for over 62 years. We value the trust each customer has in our pharmacists, techs, and entire staff. If you have not experienced the difference of Adams Drugs and are not satisfied with the customer service that you get in the big box stores, we invite you to visit any of our locations and see how committed we are to your satisfaction. Adams Drugs offers a variety of services that you will not find in all pharmacies in the River Region. Personalized compounding, area-wide delivery, wellness screenings, immunizations, medication consultations, and specialized packaging, just to name a few. Visit us at our website, adamsdrugs.net, and find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs has 12 convenient locations to serve you. Your satisfaction is our number one goal. Adams Drugs is your local Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh, really? Don't even play.
Shut up, silly woman.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the studio, as is Craig Monger, and there's so much to get to today, gentlemen, but I want to start off by saying that for the longest time, I thought it was a good thing for my job that I should at least know what, like, the main mouthpieces of corporate American media are saying. Now, for a while, I was subscribed both to the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. I think a few months back, I'm like, I'm done with the New York Times. I'm just done with them. Like, I can't, but I'll stick with the Wall Street Journal. Then I saw the headline being pushed by the Wall Street Journal that the Times also is pushing. I'm like, you know what? It's not worth the money. I can even expense it, but it's not worth the money. It's not worth a dime. I'm tired of these voices of power based on anonymous sources that are clearly from the intelligence community, other cliques within high up in the federal government. And these folks launder this information as though it is fact in order to frame, reframe, and essentially take down their enemies. And it's a shame that there are so many folks who not only still read this crap, but also still pay for it. People in my family still, oh, did you see the Journal today? Whatever. You're getting bad information. You're getting information that is clearly weaponized. That said, what was the information? What was the big deal they were pushing? Well, it was essentially that Elon Musk is going to go to the Pentagon. He's going to go to the Pentagon and receive a briefing on the United States war plans for China. And I believe the Journal characterized it as like, well, Mr. Musk is competitor with Lockheed and Boeing, you think? And they have very different philosophies. I'm sorry, United Launch Alliance is a very different beast than SpaceX. I'm done with this. I'm tired of it. I think the New York Times had a similar headline. And so immediately Trump responded to that, saying the fake news is at it again. This time, the failing New York Times, they said incorrectly that Elon Musk is going to the Pentagon tomorrow to be briefed on any potential war with China. How ridiculous. China will not even be mentioned or discussed. How disgraceful it is that the discredited media can make up such lies. Anyway, the story is completely untrue. But Trump, it wasn't enough for Trump because he had to go to Truth Social and then really lay into, well, Elon Musk will be briefed by the Pentagon about the USA's top secret plans against China should there be a war. According to the failing New York Times, one of the worst and most purposely inaccurate newspapers anywhere in the world. Their fake concept for this story is that because Elon does some business in China, that he is very conflicted and would immediately go to top Chinese officials and spill the beans. Is that what they say? Spill the beans. Ratings challenged, fake news. CNN immediately picked up on it. This absolutely ridiculous and false story, which is probably libelous, and went heavy with it. Fortunately, nobody was watching. Maggot Haberman, that really dumb scammer who constantly writes about me for the Times using anonymous, made-up, non-existent sources. And so Trump's upset about it. Pete Hegseth's also like, yeah, this is what we're doing. But it's just another day in, America. And the beautiful thing is I can very easily unsubscribe. I removed both apps off my phone, New York Times and the Wall Street Journal this morning. I'm done with y'all. I was done with you a while ago, but I thought it's at least worthwhile to know how y'all are framing the situation, how y'all are framing the ideas and the players in this political drama for folks out there. But I'm done with the voice of power. I'll put it that way. But today, I don't know how excited this gets everybody. As everybody's reacting to the fake news, Trump came out and announced a brand new fighter jet. Sixth generation fighter. I mean, how much is this one going to cost? Because when you look at the cost of the F-35, even though it's great that Montgomery has that fighter wing, right? You know, if it's a wasteful government project, then as long as it's in our district, it's cool. That's how it works. So here's Trump today unveiling the latest in American fighter jet technology. And apparently Boeing won the contract over Lockheed. Everybody's sad for Lockheed. Cry a little for Lockheed.
At my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first sixth generation fighter jet. Number sixth generation. Nothing in the world comes even close to it. And it'll be known as the F-47. The generals picked a title. And it's a beautiful number, F-47. It's something the likes of which nobody has seen before in terms of all of the attributes of a fighter jet. There's never been anything even close to it, from speed to maneuverability to what it can have to payload. And this has been in the works for a long period of time. After a rigorous and thorough competition between some of America's top aerospace companies, the Air Force is going to be awarding the contract for the next generation air dominance platform to Boeing. as you know, was highly competed for. There was a lot of competition, generals, and it's been going on for a long time. Very, very tough competition, but this plane is produced numbers that nobody's ever seen before. The F-47 will be the most advanced, most capable, most lethal aircraft ever built. An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years, and we're confident that it massively overpowers the capabilities of any other nation. There's no other nation. We know every other plane. I've seen every one of them, and it's not even close. This is a next level.
I thought manned flight was just in the dustbin of history.
I honestly did too. I was sitting there thinking, wait, it's manned?
Yeah. Now I wonder if this thing does have autonomous capabilities or has like remote control capabilities.
Sure. I'm sure it's mostly
anyway.
automated everything. Yeah. I mean, there's so much. I mean, think about all the advancements that have been done to your car.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, there's a lot more cool stuff in that.
Oh, speaking of that, there was one video yesterday that a car got pulled over, autonomous, no one in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was going down the wrong way on the interstate.
A Tesla?
It was not a Tesla. It was, I can't think of the name of the car, but it was a cab company going down the wrong way on an interstate.
Yeah.
And it had a cop pull it over. So the cop pulls up to the window and he's like, maybe he's got his camera on. He's like, hey, there's nobody in here. And then the guy on the other end talks back. They kind of tell him what happened.
Nobody's been able to figure it out yet. Everybody thought it would be an easy problem to solve. What Elon Musk for the last at least 6 years has promised. Well, next year we'll have completely autonomous driving. And I remember doing these reports 5-6 years ago when I was producing for Dan Moore. It's like, oh yeah, you can use your car as a cab while you're at work. It can go and earn money for.
I remember that.
Remember these things?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Well, it turns out it's not an easy problem to solve. It really is not. I watched a recent review of the Tesla S Plaid with the full autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fairly impressive, but and the guy did it uncut, like just wearing a GoPro camera, a bunch of cameras set up in the car. And he had to intervene a few times. I was unnerved. Just watching the video. I can't imagine actually being behind the wheel.
There's too many kinks, I think, still to work out.
Now, in my vehicle, I have the steer assist, which is
great, dude.
I love it. It's awesome. Yeah, well, you've got a Hyundai, I got a Kia. It's the same company, essentially.
Same thing. I put a car in automatic and kind of look at things out the window.
And it's fairly impressive. Like they were riding on the roads of New Jersey, like all around the turnpike and stuff. So the way it merges and it does it all, but it's just being in heavy traffic, coming to ridiculous roundabouts. And this thing's driving like a grandma, not knowing what to do.
Well, imagine down in Florida where they've got some unmanned 18-wheelers going down, up and down on Alligator Alley.
Well, you've actually done that gig, Craig.
Yeah. How safe is an unmanned?
How safe is an autonomous one?
I don't know how safe the autonomous ones are. But no, I think we're a good distance away from especially commercial vehicles. Like we might see like completely autonomous cars in our lifetime, but it'll be mainly because I think there's just a lot of fear about what that would do economically if you start having 18-wheelers be autonomous. So they might be not wanting to rush it on that.
I can't see how 18-wheelers, and I know they're doing some stuff on it, but trains, what are on tracks, are not autonomous yet. So how are you going to do 18-wheelers that can go anywhere they want to go?
That's a good question. Smarter people than I are trying to figure out how.
Yep.
Well, and it could be autonomous, but you still need somebody in the cab to sort of monitor it. And then when you get to
I'd take that job.
Oh, just monitor it as a drive.
Take that sucker in auto. Let me know if you got a problem.
Well, then you run into a problem of the job becomes way less valuable. People pay you less for it, and who wants?
Well, then you get crackheads doing the truck, and they're just a place for them to get high while it's going from one spot to the other.
Yeah, but then they got to back it up.
Yeah,
crackheads.
Yeah,
they're going to hire crackheads. Can't you see a crackhead a mile away?
Well, I thought you were pointing at me because I was a crackhead.
No, that's just cruel, Eddie. That's mean.
Right. No, I'm saying
Craig is a friend.
Yes, Craig is a great friend, but I'm saying that when you lower the wages on things, there's no value to it. So suddenly you'll just hire anybody.
Because that's the only thing that makes people do this job. That job is like nobody wants to be away from home for a couple weeks on end or even the whole week.
You kind of get trapped in it, the money part of it, right? Where you're just chasing money.
But that is why men are able to leave their families for a certain amount of time and turn into fat slobs because you're not moving anywhere because the money's just so good.
Yep.
Or you could do like me, where you have to unload an entire trailer every day, and that got old quick.
Dude, that
I
would get
believe
old.
that.
And there were these giant rolling containers. Sometimes they'd be full of nothing but water. So heavy. So heavy.
Yeah, but even the autonomous vehicle ain't going to unload itself.
That's
Ain't
true.
gonna unload itself, Joey.
Right. So maybe you're just the guy to load it, unload it at the point of contact.
Back to the crackhead.
That Unabomber guy might have had a point about our advancing technology.
Some of the things, yeah.
Yeah, generally, how y'all feel about all this? Like all these promises of artificial intelligence, all these promises of robotics, say like humanoid robots, all these promises of breakthroughs in like bespoke vaccines that are unique to your genome and your physiology, your biology.
Some of it's truly exciting, but also as an older guy, some of it I really don't want. One of the big reasons I love going to Jamaica, it's a bit of a third world country. They got cell phones, but everything's real slow. There's no autonomous nothing over there. And it's just to me, a nicer, more comfortable pace.
I think I feel like Jeff Goldblum a little bit in Jurassic Park. It's like you spend so much time wondering if you could, you never thought about if you should.
Right.
And like
I thought you were about to say The Fly. Like Goldblum in The Fly.
Oh man, what was that movie?
It's a messed up movie.
Yes,
but no,
it was.
my whole thing is just I think I don't know, we're almost moving too fast that the culture can't keep up with it. So you're essentially going to create two different classes of people, not to sound super Karl Marxy, but it's going to be the people that have, because when everything's automated, there's no real way of ascension, of progression.
Yeah,
right.
So you're just going to have a significant portion of the population down there sort of doing the grunt work, like we said, that's less valuable now because everything's autonomous, and then everyone that currently has the money is going to keep.
I think people are lazy now. Imagine.
Well, and I went through this. I don't think Byron was here that day, but we were going through, say the humanoid robot thing is very real, like all basic physical labor, you don't really need humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like more and more humans aren't providing, like on the margins, productive value to either. What's the point of hiring them?
Right.
So what do you come up with? But it kind of boiled down to, Eddie, you're taking care of, what do you want to do with your life? And you didn't have an answer.
I still don't. But because my whole life, I've worried about money.
Right.
So I spend my whole life, I hate to admit it, but I'm chasing money. If I had a robot, I would feel like I could put them to work for me, and money would not be my main motivation anymore. I could go focus on something I really like. God knows what it would be.
Snorkeling?
I do like the underwater.
So you just set up a snorkel shop in Jamaica?
Yeah, but I'd have a robot run it.
Oh, the actual hut.
Yeah.
Well, you want to be in the water.
Yeah, I'd be in the lifeguard chair, probably drunk by noon, going, yeah, guys,
Right.
I'll have a good time.
Do you think that would be fulfilling in the long
No,
run?
that's the thing. You've got to, and I used to make fun of this Korean I used to work with, Thomas. I loved him to death. When we used to talk about winning
His
the
name?
lottery,
Wait, he was Korean and his name was
that's
Thomas?
his American name. I don't even know his
okay.
Korean name. But anyway, he always said, winning the lottery, he's like, you have to keep working. We're like, dude, you're nuts. You're absolutely crazy. I'd become this, become that. As I've gotten older, that man had something to that. If you don't have that purpose in life, some type of purpose, you're just going to waste away.
Yeah, and I think the more I've looked at this, and the last time I talked to the AI about the rise of AI and humanoid robots, it really got me thinking, all this talk of Trump's a fascist, or Bernie Sanders and AOC were just at a rally where they're taking on the oligarchy, or, the left are a bunch of socialists, or Marxism will actually come back because we have achieved near a perfect abundance. There is no scarcity. We're in an almost no scarcity world. So socialism is going to rule the day. And I'm like, I think how dramatic the changes of this technology suggest, it could very well upend our entire concept of political science. Like these capabilities very well just create a ruling class of people, and then there's everybody else.
But with those same robots, wouldn't essentially you just program robot to kind of take care of all that? What's the best? I mean, do you still have people running for political office, or you just kind of AI it?
Right. No, this is the question.
It's kind of AI it,
Right. And again, we're talking about all this because, Trump and Musk and DOGE overstepped their bounds, and you can't shut that down. It's got to be congressionally approved in Congress, yada, 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 yada. But I think the fundamental change of the technology seems to empower a select few, as Craig was just getting at, that will dominate everybody else. And I guess the trick is, what do the people that are dominating want? Because, I like to think they're really, I like to believe on the face of it when Elon's like, hey, I want to be a multiplanetary species, all this stuff. I want to expand human consciousness. Fine, you can take that on face value, but whether it's him or anybody else with these immense powers, like, you just want to trust them?
They're human.
Have you ever heard of like sadism? Like, some of these folks might get a kick out of.
Yeah, I mean, they're human, so there's
a
flaw in there.
I think they developed that at a certain point. I think the sort of sadism and the sort of avarice or meanness that you see from rulers happens whenever someone gets to a point where they spent their whole life trying to be exceptional, and now they're at the zenith, and then they try to find something else to fulfill them, and that turns out to be crushing your enemies, seeing them driven before you, and hearing the lamentations of their women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but couldn't there possibly be like a good aristocracy or a good king?
Have you found one yet? I'm just curious.
Not that immediately comes to mind, other than fictional ones.
Right.
Like,
King Theoden was pretty good.
Yeah, I'd take Theoden. I'd take Aragorn. I would take like actual kings that bow to, say, good principles and don't just make people bow to themselves.
But are there that many?
No, again, we just quoted fictional people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just not. That's
well, and you can go to Roman history, the 5 good emperors and these sorts of things. And you could make the argument Rome was a mess. It was an absolute mess of civil war after civil war after civil war. And it takes Caesar and then Octavian or Caesar Augustus to kind of straighten it out after there's a huge mess. And in the name of saving the Republic, you get the empire. I'm not saying that will happen in the United States. And I'm not saying I want that to happen in the United States, but it could, especially, again, how profound the technological changes are right now. To me, it suggests there's going to be more centralization of power, no matter what window dressing you put on it, what language you put on it. It seems to be going in that direction. And honestly, I don't know how to stop it. I think, going and blowing up somebody's Cybertruck is pretty stupid.
Yeah. Depends on the person, but I do it,
Right.
There's plenty of people that if they had a Cybertruck, I would gladly blow it up. So it has more to do with the owner.
Yeah,
it wasn't a message to Elon.
Yeah, Elon doesn't own those anymore. Someone purchased them from him, so you're not screwing over Elon, people. In fact, you're helping him. He gets because the homeboy gets the insurance, then they buy more Teslas. So you just made Elon money. Right. So congratulations.
Production's up.
Yeah. So it really has started to dawn on me, like the lawfare, like the amount of stays and injunctions by federal district judges, is amazing. Like, it's outpaced all the other administrations before, and it's something like 200 plus cases, almost 300 cases that have been brought. So this is clearly the same lawfare apparatus that went after Trump as he's running is still very much in play.
Still hot.
And that's sort of, you're just hold everything up in the courts while you have your NGOs funding a lot of destruction and mayhem. And I think it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, it is.
I think the genius of the left is not in their branding of empathy and compassion, and we're looking out for everybody. We're looking out for the little guy. Actually, y'all have kind of screwed over the middle class over the last 20, 30, 40
Pretty
years.
much eliminated it.
So, there's that. And the bottom 50% in general has been screwed over with a lot of y'all's policies. But I think their true genius is not in their branding of we're the compassionate ones that stand up for human rights. Their true genius is in, destroying and desecrating things. I think of the French Revolution. Let's, desecrate the Cathedral of Notre Dame and what do they call it? The Church of Reason or something like that. And it's sort of, you see these patterns. History doesn't repeat, it does rhyme. Sorry for quoting Marx. And I just, you're seeing it play out now. And that it's depressing. It's sad. I hate it when it's like, I get into this point, I'm like, Ayn Rand's characters and villains are cartoonish and over the top. And then you see like Tim Walz, and you see the constant mayhem. Apparently now, Tesla is also seeing a record of trade-ins. So a lot of folks who bought them are getting rid of them. The stock is down for Tesla 42% at this point, while Musk is telling staff, hang on to your stock as the NGOs are trying to crash it. But then at the same time, Twitter X is now back to being valued at $44 billion. Yep. So it's back to the original purchase price. So, you're going to see this constant attack on Musk. I think in a way it takes a lot of heat off of Trump, though. Musk is serving that dual role of not only tech support, but, let the media, let the left's whole apparatus attack him and let Trump keep on chugging. In fact, Trump can come in as like, hey, I'm defending my boy. So we'll see there. Now, as we also see that sort of political news going on, some good stuff. NVIDIA to spend hundreds of billions of dollars on U.S. manufacturing in the next 4 years, which is great news. I think Johnson & Johnson announced $55 billion in investment to expand U.S. manufacturing. And then we see Doug Burgum, who's now the, I guess, Secretary of the Interior. He's ordered nearly 20 million acres in Alaska open for oil gas development, which is quite something. But it's not all good news. You now have a company that is the first casualty of DOGE's cuts. Accenture is seeing their stock plummet today because DOGE canceled some contracts. And I was trying to look up, what does Accenture do?
Yeah.
What do they do? Well, Google's AI overview says Accenture is a global professional services company that helps organizations improve performance and create sustainable value by offering services and strategy, consulting, digital technology, and operations. So essentially what DOGE is actually providing, this company was supposedly providing.
I don't think they did too good of a job there,
to the feds. So, and I think there's a lot of stories. I was listening to the All In podcast, had Lutnick on, the Commerce Secretary, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. Bessent and them said that, there was one financial firm that was getting all the contracts to essentially process things for years on end.
Yep.
And so as they sort of unlock this old system and try to bring efficiencies, there's definitely going to be some folks screaming, but it's usually the folks who are getting too good of a deal, deal that's too good to be true, or they're just outright fraudsters. They're going to be the ones that scream the loudest. And the unfortunate part is for the everyday person who might be like, why are you cutting all this stuff? Who are just oblivious to, I think, the fiscal cliff we are facing, and in particular, the interest on the debt and the debt problem in general. Yeah, I wish they understood this, but I think your average person's going to have to see the fruits of this be borne out next year. That will, if it's not there, as we head into November 26th, going to be trouble. It's really going to be trouble, but that's a long, long time from now. Coming up, I want to go and focus in on state matters because, Craig Monger was at a meeting yesterday.
Yes, it was.
And a certain person
at
this certain meeting was fired.
Yes.
And I want to get all the ins and outs about that. And this has something to do with a place I haven't been in years, a library? Libraries?
Yes.
Libraries.
All about the libraries.
Libraries.
I'm very excited.
You look excited. Are you okay today?
No, I did not sleep well at all.
You look like
you need a little sun.
Yeah, my brain is baby food. So feel free. This is the time, Duke. Call in. You can trounce me.
I feel bad I bring snacks now.
I was worried. I'm like, did that do something to piss you off? You seem out of it.
I need amphetamines or coffee and amphetamines.
Eddie, can we get into that Shell station right down the street? I'm sure they have
a 2-for-1.
I'm sure they have amphetamines.
Yeah, it'll be a 2-for-1. On the way in, I can get that.
Yeah.
They took bath salts away from us. That was the solution back in the day.
Well, if some people had been able to handle their salt and not eat this person's face.
People call the cops when they eat a gummy and say, I can't remember how to breathe.
Yeah, but if you eat a drug and then you bite somebody's face off.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Remember that one?
I
think that guy was a real jerk.
Ruined it for the rest of us. I'm over here trying to build a rocket ship with homemade products, and he's eating people's faces.
Here, I'm vacuuming my countertops, and this guy comes along. My pans have never been cleaner.
I'm schooling the 50-year-old divorcee at the bar about the history of the Roman Empire and the 5 good emperors. Stop taking away my uppers.
So Constantine was a good guy. Let me explain.
Eddie, any historical references?
No, we used to call a guy that talked too much Socrates all the time, and we would usually hand him a beer and walk away.
Just Socrates?
Yeah, Socrates.
Yeah.
Socrates.
Yeah, but there was usually chemicals involved, so you just kind of walk away, let him do his thing.
272-9228. So we're going to get to some of the state stuff. I love the reporting on this, and I know you've been working on it a while, so we will definitely get to that. Also, I want to get into the details of another story you reported on, Craig. State trooper allowed to retire over 2 weeks after indictment for child porn possession?
Yep.
Allowed to retire?
Yep.
We were reacting to that yesterday on what in the world? We also have some fun stuff. There's an astronaut who reveals how she's upping her vitamin G, whatever that means, and fitness routine for her next space flight. Like, you know, it's fun to work out and be in shape, but I can't imagine the regiment. Well, number one, for if you want to be an NBA star or NFL player, or you're in March Madness. But what is the regiment for getting prepared to be in space? We can definitely
I would think Craig would
get into that. Craig would know?
Yeah, I would think Craig. You'd know the right regiment for somebody getting ready to go to space. Kind of veggies and minerals and things they need in their body.
I suppose, but I mean, the main thing that would be interesting is what to do when you get up there. How do you lift weights in space?
All they can do is ride the bike, right? That's all I ever see them do.
They do have some apparatus too where you can do squats. You can do you can actually get force on you.
Squats in space.
Yeah, squats in space. I think everybody's ever had sex in space.
I know they've had to. Why don't they haven't they reported?
I don't know. That seems
everybody thinks it
because most of them probably have like wives and husbands back home.
Right.
It's like,
and everything's filmed.
Yeah. So they'll put it like in
right.
the will.
We have documentation.
Can you imagine how much money you would make? Like selling the tape of the first act of coitus in space.
We send Ron Jeremy to space.
Yeah, that's gonna beat the Kim Kardashian video
by a lot.
Those are the two we put on there. We put them up there. Set them
Of
up.
course, if she were up there, then certain parts of her body would have exploded because of
second
the
moon every night.
Oh goodness
contrast and
gracious!
pressure.
I know. It's so gross too.
It's so stupid. The
Like
lips,
the
the
thing?
lips are back. Like
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
It's
I've
gross.
never been to that.
All right.
Boobs are fine.
Look
That's
like you
about
tried to eat a bowl full of bees.
They have that duck face. It's just
Big
like
dumps.
like a duck.
Yeah, it looked good with an elbow on it.
Put a little water on there and stick them to the wall.
I'd like to split it.
Well, and it's not just a female thing. Have you seen those sad saps or like those men who like I work out all the time, but I want bigger calves, man.
Oh yeah.
And so they get calf implants.
As someone
That's
who
really
has,
a thing.
Yeah.
yeah, as someone who
Oh,
has
wow.
the calves of a 14-year-old lesbian, I'm sympathetic, but yeah, never would I ever get calf because they're so obvious. Especially unless you're like really fat, it's really obvious if you have implants.
All right. Guess I won't be getting implants.
Don't go with implants. Don't go with cosmetic surgery. Gentlemen, go with Montgomery Men's Health if you aren't feeling quite like a man. And that means you're seeing unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass. Not like you're eating more, not like you're working out less, but
Right.
you're seeing that nonetheless. Just general lack of energy, motivation, and drive. Your sleep cycle's off. You're not getting into deep sleep or REM cycle. You're just always tired. And you also are never in the mood. Like no sex drive, no life force or libido to speak of.
That ain't no good.
Well, why not stop by Montgomery Men's Health and they'll conduct a testosterone focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. It's really just a quick blood draw and they ask you a few basic quality of life questions to understand the symptoms you're going through. And they have low T treatments there. If that is indeed your problem, that can truly change men's lives. After treatment, men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, and you usually even notice an increased libido. And you can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
For reliable electrical services in Central Alabama, trust the experts at Crosby Electric. Crosby's licensed and insured electricians are ready to tackle any project for your home. From troubleshooting, repairs, to installing new lighting and preventive maintenance. And Crosby understands the need for quality service for small business. Crosby is big enough for the largest job, yet small enough to bring real value. Visit CrosbyElectric.com to schedule your service. Crosby, powering Central Alabama with excellence.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi there, I'm Madeline Cannon with Alabama Home Mortgage. Getting pre-approved is the first step towards home ownership. People are often scared or nervous about taking that first step, but I'll tell you, it's nothing to be scared of. At Alabama Home Mortgage, we will take the first step and every step along the way with you. Call us at 567-4223. We will gather the information needed to tell you exactly what you qualify for. After a call to Alabama Home Mortgage, you will know what price point to shop for, what down payment is required, if any, and what your monthly mortgage payment will look like. We take all the guessing out of it. Then, when you find the house you want to make your home, you are ready to make an offer. Along with your offer, you will submit your Alabama Home Mortgage pre-approval letter. This shows sellers that you've already taken the steps necessary to ensure that you qualify to purchase their home. Wait no longer. It's time to take that first step together. Call me at 567-4223 or start the process online at myalabamahomemortgage.com.
That's Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
No one wants to wait on service for an overhead door. With 20 years in the industry, you now have access to the best with All Access Overhead Door. All Access Overhead Doors offers prompt professional service at affordable prices on all service and new garage doors for residential and commercial locations. All Access Overhead Door serves the river region and can take care of whatever you need when it comes to your overhead door. Remember, you have access to the best. All Access Overhead Door. Call and schedule an appointment today. 320-2440. And like them on Facebook. They sell the best and service the rest.
Hi, I'm Jane Ray, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Frequency sells. The more ads you can get on the air, the better the chances it will make an impact. Radio allows advertisers an inexpensive way to get their voices heard over and over again. Contact me, Jane Ray, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We're still running way below normal today, but temperatures will warm up over the weekend. Today's high up to about 66, plenty of sun. Not as windy as yesterday. Mostly clear, but not quite as cold tonight. Overnight low 40. The warming trend begins tomorrow with Saturday's high up to about 76. I think we'll be near 80 on Sunday. Plenty of weekends sunshine for here and the Gulf Coast beaches. A little cooler on the beach with highs in the 60s. And the risk for showers and thunderstorms becomes likely by Sunday night. Some of the storms could be strong. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASC loan payments from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. www.yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
ASC Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASC.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
doing here?
We are behaving the way a superpower ought to behave.
Well, our behavior has produced some crappy results.
If you get a cough, please leave me alone.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Both Eddie Bader and Craig Monger in the studio today. What are you smirking at over there, Eddie?
Comments.
Comments? So we got
some one of our favorite commentors.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Romex Angler? We got to see him yesterday.
It was great to see
He's
him.
looking good.
Yeah, it is. He's
looking skinny. That long beard of his.
He's a sexy gentleman.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
You
I
never seen
agree.
the
I'm
ladies-
just amazed you said it out loud.
Well, when he walks by, the ladies all break their necks.
It's true. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I've seen it happen. But Romex Angler says, damn, Craig, you may want to get that hat out of the car during break. You're too young to just let yourself go like this.
Yeah, I'm having a bad hair day.
I like it.
I kind of like it too. When I saw him in the break room, I was like, yeah.
No, there's supposed to be some stuff in it, but there's not.
There's some,
Thank you for pointing that out.
There's some beautiful
anonymous
curls, natural curls in
internet
there.
person with the pros of a 4-year-old. You may want to get that hat out of the car during break. You're too young to just let yourself
It would
go.
make it better if he was anonymous, but we know exactly who this is.
Yeah, but he's not. State your name in the chat, otherwise you're anonymous.
He's just an angler.
He's just an angler.
Just an angler.
Mhm.
What does that mean? He fishes?
He's a fish.
I think he does.
Oh, is he good?
Yeah, you just
He's really good catching prehistoric animals.
Yeah, just puts that cane pole out there. And
Imagine this. You're at a diner and you order a steak.
Yeah.
Okay.
And instead of a steak, someone serves you a rubber steak with a giant hook in it, and then you take a bite, and then you're sucked through the window of the diner. Are you an elusive thing to catch at that point?
I gotta be honest.
I fish. It's a sport. Yeah, sure it is.
Often I've thought of this with Craig. I wonder how many times I'd been caught if they had a Big Mac on a hook.
Yeah.
How many
easy.
times I would be caught. Yes.
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 Yeah, but nobody would think, wow, the guy who caught that creature, what a sportsman. Look at him. He goes out there, gets S-faced on Pabst Blue Ribbon and throws a string in the water.
Not everybody drinks the PBR.
And you throw a string in the water and hope that this prehistoric animal that doesn't even have hands to defend itself with lops into your hook with bait that you probably spent $80 on at Bass Pro Shop in a boat that you spend $60,000 on while drinking beers that you spend $100 on, all to catch something that is dead and frozen in a Walmart 5 minutes down the road. Congratulations, stupid. You showed them.
Romex, you see what you did here? We got Craig defending fish again.
Experience, though, Craig. It's
It's an experience. How about this? Save the $60,000. Save the fish guts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Save the fact that you're probably not a good fisherman anyway.
Okay.
Save the Pabst Blue Ribbon and the spouse you're going to assault because you didn't catch anything and had too many of them when you get home, and just go sit on the bay. Just sit on the side. Look, nature, it exists. You don't have to sit there and do this silly thing. I'm casting it down there. I found a good spot. They're all good spots. Fish are everywhere, stupid.
His Romex comment again. I can't say it on air. It's hilarious. Yeah. He says, such hostility. When's the last time you, and I'm going to mute the mics and I'm going to say it,
I'm looking at it right
You've read
now.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My response can't go over the air either. I'm sure your mother's a lovely woman.
All this over I get it. I get it.
And I agreed with him. My hair does suck today. Like,
Yeah, no.
I don't even
I
disagree.
didn't think your hair sucked. I'm telling you, when
I'm
I came
just
in the
saying,
break room,
I'm just saying, if you're gonna come at me, be something other than I catch prehistoric animals. That's my hobby. I entrap them, and then
and
then
let them go. Don't forget about letting them go.
Oh yeah, that makes it better. You let him go.
And not big enough.
You're not big enough. I'm just gonna send you on with a messed up face. That's ethical. I'm just gonna carve his face up to where he can't eat any food anymore. And
What if he doesn't use the hook and the bait? It's spearfishing.
What?
Isn't that a sport? Spearfishing?
Spearfishing?
It's still not a
survival,
sport.
man.
It's still not a sport. Fishing isn't a sport. You're not a sportsman. You're not out there. You're out there. Your competition is, like I said, a prehistoric animal. It's not.
Now, Eddie, how many times have you been fishing?
Oh, gazillions.
Yeah, on the lake and then
Yeah.
deep sea fishing.
Yeah.
Is it a sport?
There are, yeah. I took it a lot serious when I was younger.
Yeah.
But as a grown adult, yeah, it's a great time.
There's no excuse to just hang out with your buddies.
Hang out. We have a great time. It's fun to, like, say, Craig, like one time we had this real good friend of ours. He hooked into this 200-pound lemon shark. And most of us would have caught it for 5 minutes and let him go. But we kept giving him such a hard time. Like, dude, you are such a wimp. You can't get. So for 45 minutes, he's just reeling, and we're all drinking
Was there
around.
any chance he was going to reel that thing in?
He did. That's the thing.
Wow.
He got him to the boat. Even the deckhand was like, well, crap. And so I think it was.
How are you going to get a 200-pound?
Well,
how are you going to hook it?
Casey, I think Casey was on the boat. He's like, well, what the hell are we going to do now? And deckhand said, I'll show you. And he just cuts the line. But
yeah.
We just shamed him into bringing that fish in, and that's an experience.
Because normally you can hook them with the extra hook off, and I'd imagine that wasn't big enough to even touch
we weren't
that.
fishing for shark. We're fishing
Right.
for snapper, so normally just let it go, be done with it. However, we shamed him into fighting this fish, and the next day he couldn't get out of bed. He was so sore.
I believe it.
So, I mean, it's the experience.
Yeah, that's an experience, but
It's not a sport.
It's not a sport.
Yeah.
You know what else is an experience? Never mind.
Where does the sport start then? Where does
when
the sport start?
when you're competing on equal footing, you have a hook, a boat, a spear, knife. Your opponent.
I can fall in the water and drown.
Yeah, but your opponent is a hungry fish. That's all the fish has is hunger. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
you have so
We have to
so
trick him a little bit.
A sport requires, hey, here, this is a golf club. We have to get the ball in the
Ooh,
hole.
golf
You
being a
have
sport?
a golf
We're going
club.
with golf being a
Yeah,
sport?
because that's
Wait,
the
you don't think
lowest-
golf's a
it's the
sport?
lowest
No,
rung.
I didn't know me.
It takes a very developed skill to get good at.
You're competing against people doing the same thing. You're not
They're the same
competing
thing
against
fishing.
who are you competing with?
The guy fishing next to me in the
No,
boat.
no, your direct
Or if we're in a
competition is the
tournament,
boat.
the other
Is
boats
the-
in the
is the-
tournament.
Well, you just be. I'm talking about the direct act itself, not we make a competition out of this thing. That
Yeah,
isn't
big
a sport,
fish.
therefore it's a
Big
sport.
fish gets $10.
And we do have to do another break here and hopefully have Austin Branco on the line. But we're going to get to the libraries and how somebody was fired.
I forgot all about that.
We are going to get to the library. We can keep this argument over what is a
so
sport
ridiculous
going.
to say just because I make it a competition,
Mhm.
that makes it a sport. Okay, here we're gonna have a competition.
Well, how's
How
golf
many
a
times
sport?
can
That's
I-
just a
how-
competition, and you're chasing a little white ball around.
It's a competition against two people doing the same thing. Same thing with football. Same thing with basketball. Same
Fishing,
thing
same
with
thing.
tennis. No, it's
We're doing the
not.
same
You're
thing.
direct. You have
We're
a
fishing.
hook. You have a hook. The
So
fish
does he.
is snackish.
So the other guy, he's got a hook.
But you're not competing against you're two fishermen going out there doesn't solve the competition. You catching
Yeah.
a fish.
There's a
solves
lot
the
of people that I'm
competition.
a much better fisherman than, and I had to prove it to them by putting
How
them
are
on the
you
boat.
better?
I
at it
caught
as a
more than
fisher?
they did.
Okay,
Is-
but your
is-
direct competition is the fish. If there's no
No.
fish, there's no sport.
There's two competitions. I had to catch more fish than he did, and I had to keep him from drinking all my beer.
Okay, so if I make a competition,
Oh yes, it very
if
much.
I make
so.
a competition of how many quarters I can pick up by clenching my butt cheeks, and we have a competition,
I'll make a
you
bet
and
on
I,
that.
does that make it a sport?
Eddie,
if it makes it a sport, I don't know if it'd be.
I've seen your gait,
syndicated,
Eddie.
but
You ain't picking up squat.
I have to. Yeah.
Walking around here like a frog on two hind legs.
You don't have to squat; you can kind of just roll over it.
Right.
like
Can I
on
just roll
fire.
around on it
Yeah.
and pick them up that way?
We will get to the libraries. I know everybody wants us to talk about libraries, but it actually is a great victory. It's amazing it took this long, but
That I'm blown away about.
thank
but-
God. It's good to see some change happen here for the good here in the state of Alabama. And we can keep arguing about fishing and sports and people stealing your beer. That's not a sport.
No, the sport is.
I'm on the bubble
to
about the
drink
fishing.
the beer before they
That's
realize I'm
not-
stealing it.
No, Beer Fest was not a documentary yet.
I could tell you tournaments where you had to swill beer before you got in the boat. Those were fun fishing tournaments.
This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and the team are ready to help you with that roof of yours. Could be an asphalt or metal roof. Both need to be inspected on a regular basis.
Yes.
Might as well do it annually, or maybe you're pretty up to date, but the recent storms that rolled through have you nervous that something might have happened.
Yep.
As your bumps in the middle of the night. Why not call River Region Contracting up, get them up on the roof to inspect it? And the great news is their inspections are always free. Always free. And their estimates are free. They find a problem, they'll write up that estimate for free. That estimate's accurate. They show up on time. They do the job well.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also insurance specialists. So you don't have to fight on your own against the insurance company. No, they can walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. Again, that's Todd Clark and River Region Contracting. 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Have you been thinking about selling your home? Let me ask you, would you want to trust your biggest investment with a part-time agent? You know, the kind who can't make your property a priority until after work at their real job? I'm Hannah Grantham, and you don't get that with us.
That's right. And I'm Eddie Bader. And if they're not focused 100% on your home, can they really even get you top dollar?
I couldn't agree more. We're top producing agents with a reputation for getting results. No side gigs here at Forest Meadows Homes and Land.
So call us today at 334-368-6358 and let us show you why who you have on your sign really matters.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. We are going to get to the library story. We also have a crazy video out of Serbia of them using a sonic acoustic weapon. We also have there's great interviews, great podcasts, and we're going to keep arguing about things. You know, Craig is kind of swaying me on this whole fishing ain't a sport thing. I've always just accepted it is a sport because they have competitions and people win a lot of money sometimes with it. And so it's, you know, but you're making a good argument. Like you're kind of just relying on the hunger of the fish.
Yeah. And they're
What
so
about hunting?
stupid. What now?
What about hunting?
No.
We're not relying on the hunger of the deer when I put corn out there for them?
You're not allowed to do
It's
that.
okay if you like to
You're
fish.
allowed to do, and what you do is two different things, young man.
It's okay if you like to fish. I like to hunt. I think hunting is the best. It doesn't make me a sportsman. I'm not engaging in a sport.
The sport of hunting.
You can't just say the sport of,
the sport
and then all
tying
the...
shoes. The sport of eating lima beans. I am the lima bean champion of the world.
Okay, well, you mentioned that. What about hot dog eating? Is that a sport?
No.
You're competing.
Joey Chestnut is not a sportsman.
It fits your definition. Two people competing side
No,
by side,
because
same thing.
Because the difference is a sport requires athleticism.
I've
So
seen that one Vietnamese chick.
fishing
She
does
looked pretty
require
athletic, putting
some
them hot
form of
dogs down there.
athleticism, which you wouldn't guess by seeing the general figures of the people that typically enjoy that pastime. But nonetheless, it requires some sort of physical prowess. Eating hot dogs.
Well, what
does
about
not.
golf then? Back to golf. Where's the physical prowess?
Plenty of prowess there.
There's so much technique. Have you ever?
All in the hips.
It's
Eddie.
all in the hips.
All in the hips.
Okay, then we're back to fishing. You know, when you're talking about casting, not everybody can just cast over there next to that log
Here's
in a
where you have
perfect
a
way.
problem. You're incapable of compartmentalized thinking because we're talking about multiple facets here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just one thing that doesn't make it a sport or not a sport. It is the
It
all-encompassing
sounds
aspect.
like the one thing that doesn't make it a sport is y'all's opinion. And that's really about
It's
it.
not my opinion that fish are dumb and don't have hooks.
I don't
You
know.
do have hooks.
Right, but
They
what
do
happens
have
when
an
they get off
advantage.
the hook? Did the fish won that sport, that particular round? If he breaks my line, did I go, oh, the
If
fish
it was-
beat me this time?
if you're saying it because it's silly, but that would only be true if it were a sport. Since it's not, it's still silly.
By the way, whoever wins this argument, I'll just let you know. Maybe this isn't your thing, but we have a goat tied up outside. Do whatever you like, Eddie.
I'm gonna put him on the spit.
I was just thinking.
That's
the
what
same
I
thing.
do. Whatever you like.
There's nothing better to me than curry goat.
Yeah.
One of the best things I think I ever found.
A little mint and pistachio sauce. to
And
dip
why
it
do you
in.
have rubber boots in your car?
Well, sometimes the pond backs up, Joey. Got to clear the dike.
You know, talking about all this fishing
Mm-hmm.
and rotisserie goat, I'm hungry. And you know what's better than goat? Smokehouse Pit Barbecue.
Dude, I just had it this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remind folks what you get.
I ended up with a pulled pork sandwich, was quite delicious.
yeah.
Some great French fries, and of course I had a tea. I had it to go, and let me go ahead and tell you, I got the big one, and it was pretty big. I ended up probably eating only about half of it, so I got to eat the other half for dinner. Nice thing was, the best thing, I was called it in, picked it right up.
Oh, I love that.
I loved it.
You were able to call it in, and it was there when you got
I call it in maybe when I took a left on Main Street there, so maybe 10 minutes away, and it was ready when I got there.
All right.
Yep.
And for folks who don't say live in Millbrook, say you live in like East Montgomery, it's just a quick trip
Oh,
down
it
the
is.
interstate. It is worth the quick trip.
Definitely.
Very easy to get into, out of, and whether you're looking for some pulled pork sandwiches or some delicious ribs or canned stew, maybe you're just like, I want all the fixins. I want
Nothing
that
wrong with
loaded mac and cheese. I want that loaded baked potato. Or it could be you want to stop by for their incredible breakfast, a true down-home breakfast, big, long, thick pieces of bacon. They give you 3 of them with one order. That's what I'm talking about. Everywhere else is like, we'll give you 2. No, it's Smokehouse. They do it right. And don't get me started on those cheese grits. You know how I feel about those cheese grits. They're the best thing ever. That might sound over the top. Go try them. They're the best thing ever. So y'all stop by, same location when you stop by?
Yep, right there on Main Street in Millbrook.
Main Street in Millbrook. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. I guess we haven't been able to get
no, I'll try him
Mr.
again.
Barranco on the line.
I'll try him again. See what we get.
So again, coming up, we're going to be talking about a change with Alabama's libraries. I think it really is an important issue if you're, say, a parent. Yeah, kids. The reporting is like over the year and a half?
Almost 2 at this point.
Yeah, it's opened my eyes to like, that's what people are defending? Being where kids can get it? Really? Ugh. Like, yeah, it's remarkable it took this long.
Yeah. And the defenses that have come over the years, just listening to people trying to defend and trying to obfuscate. And yeah, it's unreal that this is the hill that so many have decided to die on, and they keep losing badly.
So we'll get into that. Also, some other great reporting by Craig here over the week that we want to get into on local issues. And also, did y'all see that Conor McGregor announces his run for the Irish presidency?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I got a feeling he might win.
I think he might, man.
He might. He is looking juicy these days.
What does that mean?
Saying the right things.
He enjoys
He's
Mexican supplements.
Yes, he's jacked.
Yeah, I did see him in that suit. Like, that suit's fitting all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think of the suit, though? Because you are a jacked fellow.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think of getting the suit where it's like skin tight?
Nah, that's a weird trend.
Yeah,
that's
I
really
agree.
that really kind of Connor started and it's ended since then because it's become like he's the only guy really still doing it, but it just doesn't look good. Like, I mean, I think even the classic way of wearing suits that you're supposed to is too loose. So I think that it could be. I think that most suits could be tapered more than they typically are. But he just looks ridiculous.
But if you really are built and you got that V shape or whatever, like, yeah, the broad shoulders work with just a normal suit jacket.
Yeah, you're gonna look jacked no matter what. You don't have to wear. Everyone does that especially when they start out. They wear really tight fitting things. It's like, listen, if you're jacked, you're just gonna look jacked no matter what you're wearing.
Craig's Warehouse, you look jacked no matter what you wear.
Oh, gotta go.
All right. We'll have to hit this break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A large fire near London's Heathrow Airport knocked out power to Europe's busiest flight hub and forced it to shut down. That's disrupting global travel for hundreds of thousands of passengers. Heathrow officials are now saying the airport does expect to reopen later today. On the battlefront, Russian drones have pummeled the Ukrainian Black Sea port city of Odessa, injuring 3 people and sparking fires. The attack underlined Moscow's intention to pursue aerial attacks, even as it agreed to temporary halt strikes on energy facilities. Detained Columbia University student activist Mahmoud Khalil, appearing briefly in immigration court in a remote Louisiana detention center today. On Wall Street, stocks remain lower, the Dow dropping 75 points now. The NASDAQ, 32 points in the red. This is SRN News.
Hey, everybody. Charlie Kirk here. As executive director of Turning Point USA, a national radio host, podcaster, husband, and father of 2, my schedule is about as crazy as it can possibly get. 2 years ago, I made the decision to take control of my health, and I chose PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition because I needed a plan that fit my hectic lifestyle. I travel a lot, and my schedule changes every week, so I need something simple. They customized a plan for my body and my schedule, and I quickly lost 30 pounds. Now I have the energy and focus to get through my busy day. PhD will help you too. They won't let you fail. Just give them a call, schedule your weight loss consultation, and see if their program is right for you. Call 855-696-2020. That's 855-696-2020. The first 11 callers who mention the word healthy will get 2 weeks added to their weight loss package. Call 855-696-2020 and mention the word healthy, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com. That is myphdweightloss.com. It worked for me, and it can work for you. myphdweightloss.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by MPM Feed and Seed. It's time to get those gardens ready. From seeds to plants to fertilizer, MPM has what you need. Shop MPM Feed and Seed in Prattville, 1313 Highway 31 North. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturdays, 8 to 1.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We're still running way below normal today, but temperatures will warm up over the weekend. Today's high up to about 66, plenty of sun. Not as windy as yesterday. Mostly clear, but not quite as cold tonight. Overnight low 40. The warming trend begins tomorrow with Saturday's high up to about 76. I think we'll be near 80 on Sunday. Plenty of weekends sunshine for here and the Gulf Coast beaches. A little cooler on the beach with highs in the 60s. And the risk for showers and thunderstorms becomes likely by Sunday night. Some of the storms could be strong. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery police are investigating a Thursday morning shooting that left a man dead. The incident occurred just after 7 a.m. in the 700 block of Havelock Lane in the area of North Burbank Drive, where 23-year-old Shaquille Davis was killed from a single gunshot wound. Suspect and motive unknown. A former Alabama Medicaid agency employee has been indicted for stealing over $100,000 in public funds. 59-year-old Natalie Colette Lewis of Montgomery is accused of stealing money from Alabama Medicaid while employed there. The charges include aggravated theft of property and use of office for personal gain. If convicted, Lewis faces up to 60 years in prison. The city of Montgomery is hosting a series of events this weekend in honor of the 60th anniversary of the Selma to Montgomery Voting Rights March. The weekend will culminate Sunday with This Side of the Bridge March to the Capitol, followed by a Sunday Fun Day celebration on Dexter Avenue. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The 21st Annual Autism Crawfish Boil, benefiting Easter Seals of Central Alabama, is April 5th at Riverwalk Stadium. Proceeds from this fun family event benefit autism programs at Easter Seals of Central Alabama. Enjoy all-you-can-eat crawfish, live music, and even a baseball game. The Autism Crawfish Boil, April 5th at Riverwalk Stadium. Stay and eat or grab them and go. Scan or visit mudbugball.com to purchase tickets and get info on curbside pickup.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phone, shall we, Eddie, while we're waiting on Craig to get back? And let's go to Master Thespian. Hello.
Gentlemen, I have a fish story for you.
Oh, what you got?
First of all, I'm going to agree with Craig. I think that fishing is pointless. Okay?
Okay.
Not a sport.
Both my grandfathers and my father tried to get me interested in it, and I just couldn't. I was like, I'm sitting here on the bank with my pole, with stuff in the water. Just can't. So I went deep sea fishing once in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? 15 years old. We were in Mexico. I was part of the high school band, and our band director figured out a great scam to go on trips.
Yep.
He had us sell fruit. We sold oranges and grapefruit and raised enough money for all of us to go on trips. 1 year we got to go to Mexico. 1 year got to go to Hawaii. So here we are in Mexico, Acapulco. This is 45 years ago, back when Acapulco was a nice place.
Right.
And my dad wanted to go deep sea fishing, and some of the other dads that were on the trip said, yeah. So they pooled their money together, and the kids went along, and we were out on the ocean, deep sea fishing, catching nothing. Most of the day, just sitting there.
Catching rays. Yep.
Yep. So one of the guys gets a nibble. And by this time, the little Mexican guys on the boat are getting really pissy because nobody's caught anything. So one of the guys gets a nibble, and our instructions were we're supposed to reel in our line so we don't tangle up with his line. So I go to my pole, and I start reeling, and all of a sudden, wham! Something pulls my pole almost out of my hand.
Damn.
And the little Mexican guy that was next to me got all excited. He got a piece. He got a piece. He got a piece. I was like, what? Like, this is good. Keep reeling. You pull it. So I had the fish. Nobody else had it. So they moved me down the lower deck. They strapped me into the chair, put the pole in, hooked me into the pole with a little carabiner. So here I am, 45 minutes fighting this thing. It's trying to pull me out of the boat. I'm trying to pull it into the boat. And eventually we get it. It weighs as much as I do. It's like 150 pounds. It's a blue marlin.
Nice.
And I was shaking all over. My muscles had totally depleted. And I was like, okay, I can tell people I did it. I caught one. I don't ever have to do this again. So I've got a picture of it on my wall. I can bring the picture in and show it to you.
There you go.
I got the little certificate they gave me. But other than that experience, I don't like fishing. I just don't. I don't. But, you know.
Would you go as far to say it's not a sport?
No, not really.
What about the sport of sport fishing?
Of sport fishing?
Yeah, there's sport fishing. That's literally the name of the sport.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like I did some work trying to pull that fish in, but ultimately the fish was not going to win. And in that instance, we had the technology, we had all the stuff, and the fish was not going to win. He didn't have a chance, but he tried. Boy, did he try!
Yeah, they tried.
But the sport fishing thing.
So that didn't hook you, so to speak, like catching a blue marlin?
No. But it was great. I can say I did it. I never ever have to do it again. But it didn't. You know, the bug didn't bite me or anything. So I know some people do that. You know, once they catch one, they're like, I want to do that.
Oh
again.
yeah.
So where your grandfather's like, can't do nothing with his boy. We're trying to teach him our ways, and he just wants to be some theater kid.
Pretty much.
Oh,
Pretty much.
man.
A lot of times, what's wrong with his kid? What's wrong with his boy?
That happened to people that fish too, just for the record.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a lot wrong with some fishermen out there.
Yeah, but hey, I agree with Craig. It's kind of a pointless. It's not really a sport. It's just we're going to kill something and eat it, and spend a whole lot of money doing it. So, yeah, easier to go to Walmart.
Well, appreciate the call, Master Thespian.
Y'all take care.
See you, bud.
This is part of the program brought to you by Invista Advisors, and they're at Invista Advisors. They can, help you plan your long-term financial future. And what does that mean? Well, it means they're actually going to sit down and get to know you. All begins with a conversation so they can understand where you are in life, what you're hoping to accomplish in your life. And this can apply to, end of life planning. This can apply to maybe you've built up a great small business over the years, but at a certain point, you're going to want to hand it off or sell it, maybe run an endowment or a nonprofit and want some help managing that could be you need to get on top of life insurance, especially if you're a new family man, just had kids. You want to make sure everybody's in the right position. And of course, they can also help you with a, say, stock and investment strategy. Again, that's Invista Advisors. They have a wonderful team. Austin Baranko working with us here. But of course, you've heard Brant McDonald on these airwaves over the years. And each team member has their own, say, specialty. And they can come at this from many different directions to get you that, well, optimal financial plan for your financial future. Y'all just check them out today. You can always learn more at InvistaAdvisors.com. But I'd encourage you to just start the conversation. 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them that Joey, when you ask for Austin, that Joey, that guy on the radio, sent you. Wow, we got a lot of folks jumping in on this. You missed a big story about fishing, Craig.
Oh, from who?
From Master Thespian, who agrees with you that it seems like a pointless exercise. He maybe said it could be a sport, but he finds some sports just pointless exercises.
He would rather go to the Walmart.
But he had this whole deep sea fishing experience where he caught a blue marlin, and apparently that didn't hook him. Didn't hook him, much to the chagrin of his grandfathers. We're like, what's wrong with this boy? He just wants to be an actor in the theater. And who else we got? Let's go to Steve. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
Hey, I just wanted to put a little more froth in the discussion. Ernest Hemingway said that there are only two sports, and those are bullfighting and auto racing, and everything else is just a game.
There you go.
I like
and
that.
I think his logic was unless if you make a mistake, it's going to cost you your life, and that's not a sport.
Right.
And he wrote extensively about fishing.
Yes, he did.
Extensively.
He did. He loved fishing. Yeah.
But that's
All
that's
right, I
my
just
point.
wanted to
You
throw
can
that in
love
there.
it and it not be a sport. I love plenty of things that aren't sports. You know what? The big one, everyone, bodybuilding for one. People think, people say that when I have this discussion, they'll say, "Oh, do you think bodybuilding's a sport?" No, no, I don't. It's a pageant.
I never thought of it as a pageant.
So you're not going to get so all of you that want to come at me with that one, no. I'm consistent at least.
Well, I appreciate the froth, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, would you say that to Arnold Schwarzenegger? Would you say that to IFBB pro Jared Feather?
Yes, I would.
You would say it to all these?
I think Jared Feather would agree.
Yeah, actually. They seem like reasonable people.
Reasonable people.
Right. Very reasonable science approach.
Everyone thought, but I just felt that one. It's like, you think weightlifting is a sport? No.
Did you say that to Dana Lynn Bailey?
I would.
Yeah.
She, by the way, how is she still kicking after
I don't know.
all these years?
I don't know. She claims she never.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool story, bro.
Anyway, I have become adjacent to that world. I'm not deep into that world, but you get adjacent and go down the YouTube rabbit hole, and you're like, no, look at all these characters who are doing so well in that arena.
I only keep up with it because I like out of habit when I was a teenager, kind of like wrestling. It's like you kind of grow out. Like I'm not super excited, but I kind of know what's going on generally.
I more just want to learn like the lifts and like the technique. Once they like get to posing and stuff, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Oiled up, half naked.
They have the weird tan, like the bronzer that goes on and stuff. It's just odd. Like that's definitely
want to get lubed up.
No.
Then there's people back there who that's their whole job is to tan and oil.
Oh.
Like half naked men.
If the robots take over, you got a gig, Eddie.
I don't know.
Just massage up those.
Even the female ones, and I hate saying it because my sister was a bodybuilder at one time.
Yeah,
never did much for me.
Never did much for you. You weren't impressed by the effort, the discipline, the physique?
Well, no, because I'm a very undisciplined person, so discipline does not impress me at all. I hate that for people, but that
Let's go to Howard Dean. Hey, Howard Dean.
Hey, oh God, you guys are all over the place. I love it. Women bodybuilders, I can appreciate the fact that they want to, I mean, that's closer to a man than, anyways.
The liberals.
It's not attractive at all. Maybe a little slight build that they're, not flabby, a nice little pooch, but not that way anyway. Man, you guys are all over the place. Fishing, Master Thesbo, completely wrong, and maybe he doesn't understand the fact that it's not to go. We're fishing, not catching. And if you don't love nature, you'll never figure that out. sitting there without having to hear, which Greg would do, Suzanne Woody, the boys, and hearing all of the, the itinerary for the day. That's where fishing, the love of fishing starts, is not having to hear. You take your boy, because he don't want to hear that either. He got 3 sisters. They don't do nothing either. So there's a fine line between, but he should have been hooked by catching that. I mean, I've been fishing my whole life out in California. Never did any freshwater fishing until I moved to Colorado like 20 years ago. Never freshwater fished. I'm thinking, how can this be fun when I'm catching, 12-foot monsters?
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about the tackle. But it's not about the fish until you catch one. It's more about the peace and silence in nature. The birds, the bugs, the trees do it. Bees do it. You know what I'm saying?
But
kind of.
But see that, and see, that's all well and good. That's all well and good. And in fact, I think that's the only reason I have gone fishing, and I would go tomorrow for that exact reason.
Right.
It's beautiful to go out there. Doesn't make it a sport.
Not a
though.
But if
sport.
I challenge you, Craig, if I say I can take you to this spot and I'm going to catch more fish than you, does that not
Then
make
you
it
and
a
I are
sport?
having a competition. We are not,
Which is a
sports.
sport.
Yeah, but to Steve's
No.
point, it's a game.
Yellow.
It's
and being the fact that you're athletic doesn't make it a sport. It's a game, like our last caller just said. I agree with that totally. I never really heard about fishing being a sport, but obviously it's called motor sports. Everything else is just a game.
I appreciate the call.
And there's
Howard,
motors
dude.
on boats.
Love you guys.
Motorboating?
Happy Friday.
Jack and mate.
We're going motorboating?
But again, what does it say? I don't know how much of a flex it is to say, man, I have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on all this equipment to go out there, float in the ocean, away from civilization, and go through this whole rigmarole where I have to figure out different baits. I got to find a good spot,
Right.
all because I made a poor decision in my choice of a spouse.
It's for life, Craig.
Yeah.
It's for life,
It's
man.
for life.
It's for life.
And there's something to be said about man time. Like
I agree, but like there's this whole like sort of sitcom slapstick thing of the old ball and chain. Oh, here finally I'm out there on the water, surrounded by stuff that wants to kill me, and now I'm at peace because
Yes.
I selected a spouse so poorly that I would rather brave the outdoors, spend all this money, not be doing anything ultimately productive, just to escape her yammering.
But isn't there a little luck involved
in what?
in picking a good spouse? It's a little bit of luck,
Nah, less than you think.
like 5% luck.
I've very rarely seen very rarely seen a marriage fall apart where you were like, yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Well, I've seen a couple of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or you didn't see it coming?
Yeah, the whole cheating. And,
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. It does happen, so you can't be perfect. But
Robert Bentley. Didn't see that coming.
No, and my dad told me a story, and maybe it's somebody local, so I won't say names. But it's like young kids who are like dating all through college, and they're living the party college life, and they have a huge wedding where I think it costs like $40,000 on the honeymoon. The man and wife get in a fist fight, a
Oh,
drunken fist fight.
Oh, Lord.
They're divorced in a week, and it's just like.
I did see a story like
Oh
that
my God.
on a cruise where they got married and went on the cruise, and literally before they left the port, the bride and the groom were arrested for fighting.
Yeah.
Lord.
Right, and maybe it's like, well, that's the electricity that drives us.
No,
Yeah,
you got to force it that much.
kind of sounds like
Yeah.
codependency.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get to the library story. We are going to get to the library. We're not letting you off the hook, Nancy Pack. Let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam. How
What
are
up,
you doing?
Sammy?
My call. Hey, thanks for taking my call. First, let me point out that fishing costs less than playing golf. Okay, a round of golf and a cart and sticks and the bet. So, yeah, man, fishing. Don't look at fishing as a sport. Look at it as a science. Yeah, you go out there. You first make up your mind what I like to fish, and what's the barometric pressure? Pressure is low. Fish don't bite. What's the temperature of the water? The time of the year. All of those things. The bait. What the clarity of the water. What the fish would be responsive to. It's a science. you can write it down
the luck, man.
share it with someone else.
That's just the
Now,
luck.
It took the right square of the right angle of the hypotenuse, and the equation equals put food on the sharp thing and pull it hard.
I know. Craig, what this is a reflection of is that you have become city boy.
City boy?
Yes, city boy. See, if you're out in the country, you become one with nature. Your senses attune.
He's out in the country.
Yeah, he is not a city boy.
I don't need you defending me for this guy. I'm all good.
My bad.
I know who I am.
City slicker.
Hey, listen, guys. Enjoying the show, of course. But earlier, when you were talking about sex in space.
Yeah, that caught your attention?
Well, hey, man, listen. The research has been done. This subject has been explored, and I'm going to share the source with you. There was a movie made in 1966 by Jerry Lewis. It's called Way, Way Out. He's on moon base, and the Russian couple that's there, the young lady lied about being pregnant, and so Jerry, him and his drop-dead beautiful space girlfriend, they decide to have the first baby on the moon. And, yeah, man, it's this pretty good old comedy. And they had vodka. You add water to a powder, make vodka. Well, that actually exists now. So I'm just saying. But Jerry Lewis, he led the way.
I thought you were going to say Barbarella.
I know. Well, that wasn't
Barbarella.
I know, but we're talking family friendly. There you go, family friendly fornication. All right, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Nah, man, I just thank y'all. All right.
No, and they really actually have looked into what could be the issues with it, like gravity and microgravity, and how would it even work in space? Would the whole reproductive process actually work?
Strong swimmers.
And I'm on the Wikipedia page. It says history of attempts, which got my attention as a headline, history of attempts at sex in space. And the first sentence is NASA has stated it knows of no intercourse in space.
Liars.
They also said they went to the moon.
Now you too.
Welcome back, Craig.
I've been putting up with this all day. I've been putting up with it for weeks now. Well, why can't you see the stars?
Oh my goodness. Could put the camera out there.
But in 2015, in June of 2015, Pornhub announced its plans to make the first pornographic film in space. It launched a crowdfunding campaign to fund the effort, dubbed Sexploration, with the goal of raising $3.4 million in 60 days. The campaign only received pledges for $236,000.
What they do with the money? Yeah,
I don't know.
Just made a regular porn.
No, if funded, the film would have been slated for 2016, following its months of training for the two performers and 6-person crew. Wait, would have SpaceX have done this, or Blue Origin, or
wow,
anyone who wanted to be really famous?
No, it probably would have been Virgin. With Branson. I'm thinking
I
that.
could see Branson doing
What there's always like some perv in the crowd. Let's go to line 5. You're on the air. Who's this?
Well, it's Papa B.
Hey, Papa B.
Hey, so y'all don't think bodybuilding is a sport, right?
No.
I mean,
I agree with you.
Is CrossFit a sport?
If you talk about it enough, it becomes a sport.
Yeah.
Oh, get to the chopper. Oh, he says.
Was that Cookie Monster playing the role of?
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Husband fisherman. Oh, get to the fishing boat.
That was Oscar the Grouch that time.
Bodybuilding thing, especially women bodybuilding. Yeah, think so. Anyway, so
maybe you just haven't found the right one. I know you're duly married. You've been married for years, and that's awesome. But just saying, maybe you didn't fall in love. And
you don't think people can grow out of love?
Oh, I think they could.
Okay.
I don't think that I missed anything. Not marrying a woman's body.
Okay.
I couldn't compete on the same stage for sure. So, what
nowadays?
What are we doing on these? What are they doing on these folks that are burning down the Teslas now? I mean, I hear they're rounding up a bunch of them.
I heard they were rounding some up, but I haven't
there?
seen any pictures. I just saw the statement.
Well, they did show that Lucy Gray or whatever his name was, that trans guy, and I think a couple other ones. But
okay.
Anyway, what I'm seeing though is the Democrats are having a hard time, saying, mouthing the words, "Oh, we don't support violence," and blah 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 blah. And I mean, you can tell some of them are just snickering under their breath about the whole thing. And the other ones, I've actually heard this talk show thing that they had, where the audience was cheering the blame bombers. It was incredible. I think there's a lot of support out there for these folks on the left.
Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, this is kind of be expected. I think 3 people have been arrested, and the White House and Pam Bondi said they're going to bring severe charges, including domestic terrorism charges, which I think is a minimum of 5 years. And yeah, it was Adam Matthew Lansky, 41, threw 8 Molotov cocktails at a Tesla dealership in Salem, Oregon, while armed with a suppressed AR-15 rifle. Another, Lucy Grace Nelson, allegedly attempted to use Molotov cocktails to light Teslas on fire in Loveland, Colorado, and was later found with materials that could be used to make incendiary weapons. A third individual, Daniel Brendan Kurt Clark Pounder, good God, that's a long name, allegedly wrote profane messages against President Trump and lit Tesla charging stations on fire in Charleston, South Carolina. They say each person could face up, the Justice Department says, 20 years in prison.
Well, let's hope it sends a message. It sounds like, though, there's just a whole lot more people out there that are actually doing it, and I guess still willing to, But there's one thing about, this time around with President Trump. I don't think he's going to put up with the looting and burning.
Nope.
Like he did last time.
I mean, he'll cut it off pretty quickly.
The governors and mayors that just kind of let it roll on, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen like that. Y'all feel the same way or think the same thing?
I don't think you will either. I really don't. I
Well,
think
the trick is
he
to
realized he
cut
let
it
go
off
too
at the
long.
pass,
Yep.
cut it off early,
Yep.
or I'll say they'll make a really big show of it. But
It'll be a long, hot summer.
I appreciate the call as always, Papa B.
All right, bro.
See ya, Papa B.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Yeah, it's Dirty Water.
Hey, Dirty Water.
Hey, guys. This is for Eddie.
Okay.
You talking about what's sports and what's not. You guys ever see Lonesome Dove?
Yes.
At the Bordello, and they say, "Are you a sporting man?" I mean, who draws the line between sport? I mean, that's 2 people competing for something. I'm not going to say what.
Who could be the fastest?
Oh God! I tell you what, I'd have the gold medal on that one. All right,
All right.
love you guys, man.
Thanks, Dirty Water.
Bye.
Let's talk about the draw. Fast, quick draw.
So when we come back, we're going to do the library story.
Promise?
I promise.
All right, Dad. You gonna turn the car around?
No, I didn't say in that tone.
Okay.
I said I promise we're going to do the library story.
Okay, Dad.
Why are you talking back?
It's okay, Dad. It's all good.
You gonna keep going?
Yeah, probably. Have you met me?
Good God, I can't imagine.
Hey,
being
what did
your
they say
father.
about your hat yesterday down at the State House this week? Didn't somebody make a comment?
No.
Something about maybe you getting a new hat?
Oh no, my neighbor did.
What was that? The comment?
That was delivering papers. Right. He had on a straw hat too. Like he had on a funky hat as well. And y'all can keep hating on my hats.
No,
and
no,
stuff.
I got a new one coming for summer just for you.
Oh God, did you buy that trucker one?
I want to so bad, Joey, but you're
Yeah.
just gonna throw it back at me. So.
Yeah, Craig, it's like one of these I've been wearing all the time, but the back is like a trucker hat.
It's awful.
Like the
It's
mesh
so
of
awful.
a trucker hat. It does not look good.
That sounds like it would
It,
look horrible.
it does. It really does.
Yeah, it's like our 1819 hats, but that
style. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Only go so far with that.
I think Eddie should just start he's at the age where he needs to just start wearing like a big Lebowski kimono and like a wizard's hat.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm thinking about slipping into the coveralls stage in my life.
The
where I just
coveralls?
wear coveralls, yeah.
Halfway down
Overalls
and
and
zip,
coveralls.
chest hair popping out.
Well, grass don't
stains.
grow on the playground, so I'm gonna have to be the bare chested thing. But that's okay too, I think.
I
Did you just say grass don't grow on the playground?
Yes, I did, Joe.
That of all the disgusting things I've heard you say over the years. No, I think you'd look good in this look, though.
That and tracksuits. I want to bring back tracksuits.
You're gonna bring back tracksuits.
Yeah.
You gonna go branded, like all Adidas?
It'll be Adidas. Yeah, got to
Uh-huh.
keep it real with Adidas.
All right.
Yeah, and I want to be squishy when I walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of tracksuit.
This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour, brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with, well, what you need to get in a home. Maybe you're looking to buy a home and you're a first-time home buyer, don't know the process. I can't think of anybody better than Alabama Home Mortgage to help you through that the first time. Always starts with pre-approval. Do not skip step one. You're going to set yourself up for heartbreak and probably lose the house you're really looking to get. So always start with pre-approval, but they'll walk with you every step of the way there at Alabama Home Mortgage all the way to closing day. And they can also help you with a great refinance deal. And again, as things move, as interest rates continue to move, as things continue to happen with the economy, at least start the conversation with Kim and Madeline there. It could be you're retiring and you're looking to get cut down on, say, your monthly overhead. You just want to retire, you want to relax, you've got equity built up in your home. This could be a great way to give you some relief when it comes to those month-to-month bills. Or it could be you're under a mountain of credit card debt. We've seen a lot of that. A lot of folks have been relying on debt in order to make ends meet. And so, again, you have equity built up in your home. They can get you on a, more sound financial footing. Even if it's a higher interest rate on your mortgage, 7, 8, 9%, that's a lot better than 24%.
Yes, it is.
Or 29% or 32% APR on that credit card. So y'all check them out today. You can always call Kim and Madeline at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim, Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. So, wait, Bama's been on an 8-1 run for the last minute or two, but they're only up by 6. With 4 minutes left in the game. Robert Morris hanging in there, a 15 seed against Alabama. Now, I'm not usually the one to root against Bama, even though I'm an Auburn graduate. But that would be a shock. I expected Bama to go a lot farther than that. Oh, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. I think they'll be all right.
Honestly, at the end of the day, did you fill out a bracket, Craig?
A what?
Exactly.
That's why I like you. Everybody asking me about my bracket, and I'm like, I didn't.
Yeah. I don't really follow sports that aren't MMA.
That's how Betty in accounting wins the brackets all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally like they just go in there and they'll fill it out. Oh, I like this
I
jersey.
did fill out the one on X because it's like, hey, you could win some money. I'm like, okay. And I just clicked on a bunch of stuff, but I'm already
A couple
blown
years
up.
ago, Susanna, my wife, I think she hit for like $800.
Oh, that's
just
not bad.
total. Yeah, just I like the color. I like this. Yeah.
Anyway, when we come back, we're talking libraries here in the state of Alabama. Y'all stay tuned.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
The Tears family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Alabama weather will never fail to surprise you. Our lawns hardly get a chance to have any downtime. And as usual, it's already time to start getting ready for spring. This year, save the hard work and aggravation and call Alabama Lawns, the River Region's leader in weed control and fertilization services. What makes Alabama Lawns the River Region's best? It's the people. They have the experience, education, and commitment to customer satisfaction. Ask your neighbors. Alabama Lawns has been the Montgomery Advertiser's Reader's Choice Award winner 13 years in a row. The Alabama Lawn staff is made up of long-term employees and agronomy graduates, and the staff at Alabama Lawns attend annual continuing education classes. It pays to have someone that knows southern grass types and how to keep them green and flourishing. Call Alabama Lawns today at 272-7171 and let them show you real value in a lawn maintenance service. Alabama Lawns, the company with black trucks and green lawns. 272-7171.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We're still running way below normal today, but temperatures will warm up over the weekend. Today's high up to about 66, plenty of sun. Not as windy as yesterday. Mostly clear, but not quite as cold tonight. Overnight low 40. The warming trend begins tomorrow with Saturday's high up to about 76. I think we'll be near 80 on Sunday. Plenty of weekends sunshine for here and the Gulf Coast beaches. A little cooler on the beach with highs in the 60s. And the risk for showers and thunderstorms becomes likely by Sunday night. Some of the storms could be strong. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Though in certain sectors, in certain nooks and crannies of Alabama, they drink a heck of a lot of socialist Kool-Aid. And you often find it, folks, in the bureaucracy, especially professionals within the bureaucracy, the so-called experts in the Alabama bureaucracy. It is kind of remarkable, like how at odds that bureaucracy is often with the general population and the general politics of the state. And this is, I guess, an example of the left's long march through the institutions. But whether you're looking at education or you look even in more narrow ways at the public library service, well, it looks like the head of the Alabama Public Library Service Board, the director of the Alabama Public Library Service, the board has fired her. Her name is Nancy Pack. Now, the man who wrote this story is in the studio. He's working off little sleep, so forgive him for that. And, you were in the room when all this went down.
Oh, yes, I was.
But before you describe that scene, let's remind folks of who Nancy Pack is, what this whole saga is about.
Okay, so Nancy Pack was the director of the Alabama Public Library Service, which is essentially the institution that handles library business in the state, and she is appointed by the APLS board, and those are appointed by the governor. And so, yeah, so when about 2 years ago, going on 2 years ago, whenever it sort of blew up in the state, it started in Prattville, thanks to yours truly. And then everyone started looking in their own libraries, and they were finding these books that were either in the children or young adult, which is targeted towards children sections. A lot of them were sexually explicit. A lot of them were just like super commie. Others were LGBTQ affirming and talking about transgenderism. And I mean, we've posted plenty of the books and the photos on our site, and it's ridiculous the type of material that's allowed in there. So when local boards didn't address it the way that people would have liked, they then started going to the state library board, and then they started interacting with Dr. Pack. And that's when I started interacting with her and found her to be a pathological liar. Repeatedly. From the first time I ever spoke to her, she lied, and she did multiple times after that. And she was generally hostile, generally not very pleasant, very arrogant. And the people that wanted these obscene books removed, they found her to be very much in favor of the other side. So they found her to be equally hostile and unpleasant.
Well, and she said things over the years, the legislatures don't know what they're talking about when it comes to libraries. Like anybody who questions her, say, wisdom on the subject, so-called wisdom, is just, you didn't go to, isn't she quoted as saying you didn't go to school for this?
Oh, yeah, she said that multiple times. Like, I'm sure it's quoted somewhere, but like, I'm telling you, every meeting where she talks, she likes to draw out her credentials. She has a doctorate in library sciences. And one time she got just so offended, like, they have absolutely disrespected my my doctorate or my degrees or something along those lines.
Is that how she sounds? It's kind of
a bit. She's got, I wish her well, but she very much seemed to be a very unstable woman. And again, having phone conversations with her multiple times over the years, and so a lot of people found her to be very disrespectful, very dismissive, very arrogant. And I think that when the state library board kind of went through a shakeup, there's hardly a original member on there after this drama sort of kicked off, and the people there seem to be more amenable to removing things and developing policies that don't let this material in there, yada yada. Right. And that they have apparently also found her to be very difficult to work with.
And so that brings us to the meeting, the recent board meeting with all these new folks on it.
Oh yeah.
And so this was like a 2 hour.
It was 3 hours. It was 3 hours.
Wow.
There was 2 hours just of public comment where people came in. You had people that were in favor of the books, people not in favor of the books, people that loved the board, people that hated the board, people that loved PAC, people that hated PAC, back and forth for 2 hours.
I love that book that taught you how to play with yourself.
Yeah, and these poor moms, they get up there and they read excerpts and they give handouts, and it's pretty ridiculous. Okay. Yeah. And even a story I did yesterday of someone, there's some pictures of a book in there too. It's crazy what they think is age appropriate.
No, I've seen those videos. In the last, say, 5 years, they were becoming famous at these school board meetings and city council meetings where a mom will get up there and start just reading graphic stuff about oral sex. And it's like, Mom, I don't want to be there if you're going to do this. But it does drive the point home.
Oh, yeah, it does. And so they did that, and then they just had some other business. And then finally at the end, John Wall, the chairman for both the Alabama GOP and the APLS board, he said that he had received her resignation letter, that it was supposed to be effective September 30th. But then another board member, they said they wanted the change to be immediate. And so they motioned to terminate her, and everyone but one board member voted in favor. And that was her last day in the building. And she said that she still wanted a few more weeks, and she wanted to be paid for those weeks to come in and get her files together and clean out her office and all this other stuff. And they said, you'll be leaving. You'll be asked to leave today. Yeah. And then staff will collect and itemize your stuff and whatever.
That's how it works.
Well, and the one no vote was a guy named Ron Snyder, who was the chair of the board before John Wall.
Correct. He lost it to Wall. Well, he didn't lose it to Wall. He was term limited. He couldn't go again. Okay. But Wall took his place in November of last year.
And here's the quote from that guy saying, quote, "This is an awfully dark day for Alabama libraries and the people of Alabama who love libraries." I don't know if he sounds that way. It just seems fitting.
No, he's very, very fidgety, very shaky.
Very okay.
Odd guy.
But Dr. Pack is being terminated not because of her performance, because over her tenure, state aid for local libraries has increased 60%. Wait, that's the marker of success? The state has spent more money?
Kids any smarter?
But she's being terminated as a result of unfounded allegations made about her by extremists, including on this board, who believe she is not sufficiently supporting censorship. Well, and it sounds like John Wall is sticking by this. Like, I know you did a follow-up with him.
Oh yeah, he's sticking by it, and I think everyone did. Like I said, it was a near unanimous vote. Personally, I've had my issues with Dr. Pack. Like I said, not well. She's just not well. But I can't imagine having to work for her with that level of arrogance, with that level of condescension. It would be very frustrating. So I think everyone was kind of behind it. For the most part, like I said, except for Snyder, who whenever she found out that she wasn't going to be able to stay to collect her stuff, she packed up her stuff and walked out of the room before the meeting was over, and Snyder walked right behind her. So I don't know what his future there is going to be, but he was to call your fellow board members extremists. I'm not.
And are these board positions all elected positions?
No, they're appointed by the governor.
Appointed by the governor.
So one of actually, I wrote a story about a former board member who kind of went in on Governor Kay Ivey during one of our meetings, and she was fired the next day. So
you don't mess with Kay.
She doesn't.
We've learned.
She doesn't mess around. No.
Yeah, I mean, we learned with the whole veterans board overhaul.
Vindictive.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I've ever said anything to piss off the governor.
I know I quit. I know I quit.
You quit saying stuff that would
I
annoy
was
you?
irritating you when I was letting out the.
Oh yeah, no, don't repeat it. Right?
You sure?
Right.
You sure?
Same guy made that comment about my hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually was using Kay Ivey photos that I created with AI and text strings. It was great. Yeah, he's like, and no, there are a lot of state representatives and senators and folks who work in the government who think I'm hilarious, at least in that regard, making all those Meemaw AI photos.
They were good. They were good.
No, I like her as an astronaut. Like, send her to the International Space Station. As a jet skier. I liked her slaying that dragon.
That was good too.
That was pretty awesome. Those pretty good.
Yeah, those. I still haven't figured out the image generator. Like,
for that, I'd put in an actual photo of Kay Ivey to kind of give it reference. Because if you just tell it straight up, give me Donald Trump, give me Barack Obama, give me Elon Musk, it doesn't look like them. But if you seed it an actual photo and say, change this.
Put this to it.
But see, I tried that and it still didn't look anything like Stephen Reed.
Darndest thing.
Well, no, yeah,
darndest thing.
I uploaded photos. I think I'm just incompetent. I'll figure it out though.
I mean, you got to hold your mouth right. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro. I'm sorry I said that. This part of the program, again, brought to you by Pest Pro Services and Ashley and the team there at Pest Pro. They can help you out with any and all of your pest control needs. Of course, top of mind right now should be termites.
Yep, tis the season, Joey.
And I mean, you've seen the worst of it, right?
I've seen it many a time where there's just that swarm. And I've also seen, like, looking at houses and people not realize they've got a termite problem, and then you go touch the wall and your finger goes right through it.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Uh-oh. Or you just accidentally, stub your toe or the front of your boot into the crown molding, and it just goes right through. Yeah. And the deal is, you don't want to wait till you find it out that way.
You don't.
You want to make sure you prevent any termite problem in the first place, or if it's just starting, knock it out very quickly. Because they're called silent destroyers for a reason. They can be eating through your property, your home that you've built up, you're relying on, and it can become more and more expensive, all the way to the point of getting a horror show if they start swarming.
Yep.
And Pest Pro Services can take care of those termites for you. Of course, also mosquito season going to be showing up in force, I'd imagine, pretty soon here. I mean, we've had some cold snaps still in a few days here in the beginning of spring.
Yeah, but it's time.
For too long, you're going to have those mosquitoes. So if you like enjoying your yard that you spent money on, why not call Pest Pro Services? Have them come spray and treat the yard so you don't have to spray yourself. Again, that's Pest Pro Services. Ashley and the team are great local folks. So when you spend money with them, it's staying here in the River Region community. You can always check them out at ppsriverregion.com to learn more, or search Pest Pro Services on Facebook. And you can always call them at 265-9990. Again, that's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Romex Angler throwing up another comment saying, I read the story this morning. Craig, you still write good.
Thank you.
See, we buried the hatchet on the whole hair and fishing conversation. Welcome back to the program. It looks like Alabama is probably going to be victorious. Unless they absolutely screw the pooch in the last minute. They're up by 8 right now. Oh, can he knock down that 3? No, he's going to hold it. Run the clock a little more, make him foul him. Yeah, I think Bama's got that in the bag. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I can't. I'm like you, Craig. I have trouble getting excited for all the sports ball stuff people push out
It's
there.
too much. It's like I have to care about basketball and then baseball, and then football, and then what? I mean, I need to do other things. And people is like, oh, I've got my fantasy team set up, and they start talking about he should have run the nickel slot you're not a tactician. Stop telling me about different routes for the receiver to run. Ugh. It's like the band than you do. Well, actually, so-and-so, P. Diddley Doo-Wop played guitar on this version. It's like, I don't care. I like the song. Let me just watch. Sorry.
Well, P. Diddley Doo-Wop can play now.
Yeah.
He can shred. Like that dude. Man, that's some country shredding right there. It's some good stuff. Anyway, hey, let's go to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great, Joey.
Now, we've been asking a lot of folks today, is fishing a sport?
Hello?
Michael, you there?
Michael, are you there?
You went away.
Yeah, we were asking a lot of folks. You don't have to answer. Is fishing a sport?
I think if you're a fisherman, it is.
Maybe
to others, it's not.
So to the unbiased, it's not a sport.
Play the
Got
middle.
it.
It also could be therapy.
Oh, that
That's
is
a thought, too,
certainly-
sure.
Certainly true.
Yeah.
A lot better than going with the wife to sit on the couch and talk to somebody. Hey, so how's it going?
costs more, though.
Yes. Yes. How's it going there today at Cohen's?
It's going wonderful. It's going a lot better than Alabama basketball is.
Yeah, we're in the middle of watching it.
Doing.
I think you're going to be all right. Y'all are up by 11, 45 seconds left.
Yeah, but that struggle.
Yeah.
It was a struggle to get there, it looked like.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a struggle just trying to inbound the ball.
I just noticed that.
But,
wow.
So is folks kind of...
So everything's doing good. We got people coming in. They're buying TVs. Some of them are replacing them just because. Some of them are replacing them because they need to.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that the tournament is definitely a catalyst for a lot of people to want to get a bigger, better TV.
Oh, absolutely. And I think even my grandfather's talking about wanting a bigger, better TV.
Yeah.
So us two might stop by very soon. And also, just as a reminder, I'm just thinking about the weather getting a little warmer and whatnot. It's going to be like true grilling season here before too long, and y'all have many options there, all different ways you can cook outside.
That's right. You can do Kamado Joe with your traditional charcoal. You can do a Traeger with the pellets. You can do a Napoleon with gas. They all do an incredible job. They all have different ways of doing it. No wrong way. I guess, the biggest cult, I guess, is the Traeger people with the pellet. But I've got a Napoleon. I love mine, and you can't go wrong. Get you a good piece of meat, put it on there, do it the right way. The thing I like about the Napoleons is that it's got that sear station where it gets up to about 1,800 degrees in probably about 30 or 40 seconds. Ooh. So you can sear all of your meat, and then you can grill it. And of course, some people do the reverse sear where they grill it and then they sear it.
Right.
So, it works well either way.
Well, folks, y'all need to get by there and check all this out at Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. You can't always shop from home at thinkcohens.com, but you got to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to find Michael and say, hey, I heard you on the radio with Joey and Eddie. And it does look like with 26 seconds left that Alabama's going to win this thing, Michael.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, ugly is still a win.
That's right.
There you go.
Still a W, baby.
All right.
Appreciate it,
Y'all
Michael.
have a great
See you,
weekend.
Michael.
Come see us.
Thank you, sir. Well, hat tip to Robert Morris. Y'all aren't complete losers.
Oh, by no means.
Good showing. Good team effort. Oh, look at the time. Final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Israel's defense minister says he's ordered ground forces to advance deeper into the Gaza Strip, vowing to hold more land until Hamas releases the remaining hostages it holds. Defense Minister Israel Katz said that operations would continue with increasing intensity until the hostages are released. London's Heathrow Airport is resuming some flights and hopes to return to a full schedule on Saturday. Heathrow was closed Friday after a fire at a nearby electrical substation cut power to Europe's busiest airport. Fewer than 1% of NCAA tournament brackets still perfect after Thursday's 16-game slate. Stocks have been up and down and are now lower. The Dow dropping 98 points. The NASDAQ composite 14 points in the red. This is SRN News.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in the term life industry. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month. Level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for a new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote. 800-786-9161. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-786-9161. Remember, 1-800-786-9161. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Rich Thomas Weather, brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Hiring experienced truck drivers right now. They offer Blue Cross Blue Shield, 401k, and per diem. They've been in business since 1959, and they're still growing strong. Call recruiting now at 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After this recent temperature setback, we're looking forward to the warming trend over the weekend. But for tonight, mostly clear, not quite as cold. Overnight low temperature down to about 40. Nice recovery tomorrow with plenty of sunshine up to about 76 Saturday. We'll be near 80 or close to it on Sunday. Lots of weekend sunshine for here and the Gulf Coast beaches. A little cooler on the beach with highs in the 60s. Then showers and thunderstorms become likely Sunday night. Some of those could be on the strong side. We'll watch it for you. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. Since we began in 1906, at CB&S Bank, we're here for you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
1819 News.
The chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, who is also the chairman of the Alabama Public Library Service, John Wall, is speaking out after the recent firing of APLS Director Nancy Pack. That firing occurred on Thursday during a board meeting. Wall says the termination of Pack comes as a result of growing tension between her and the board. Wall said that many of the board members found Pack to be disrespectful and dismissive of the board, and that this is a necessary change in order to return the APLS to higher standards in operations as well as serving the people of Alabama. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness License Plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org. That's ATEASE.org.
Governor Ivey has another bill on her desk to sign into law. The Alabama Public Employee Paid Parental Leave Act was passed by the Alabama legislature on Thursday. The bill offers 8 weeks of maternity leave and 2 weeks of paternity leave upon the birth of a child to a teacher or state employee. The bill has had bipartisan sponsorship, Democratic State Senator Vivian Figures and Republican State Representative Jenny Shaver. Well, applications are now open and being accepted within the Hartselle school system as they seek a new school superintendent. The current school superintendent, Brian Clayton, announced his plans to retire at a board meeting this March. His retirement will go into effect this coming June 30th. The school board hopes to find a candidate to replace Clayton by June 1st of this year. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour. And I can't wait for the weekend to be here. It will be here very, very soon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Again, that's 334-272-9228. Now, I'm interested to see this. I haven't read it in detail, but there is an astronaut named Kelly Girardi, reveals how she's upping her quote-unquote vitamin G and fitness routine for her next spaceflight. Wow, that's a hot astronaut. All right, then. That's a weird emotion. Girardi made headlines in 2023 when she went to space aboard a Virgin Galactic suborbital flight, becoming one of less than 100 women to slip the surly bonds of Earth. Now she's slated to return to space with Virgin Galactic in 2026 as part of an all-female suborbital spaceflight, and she's shared details about her training regimen. So this is a quote. "We like to joke that we're upping our dose of vitamin G. A major component of preparation involves flying in parabolic zero-G and aerobatic high-G campaigns here on Earth to validate that our payloads and research equipment will perform as intended in extreme conditions and to refine our in-space operations as researchers. Good cardiac health helps with your tolerance of high G forces, so we incorporated plenty of cardio into our workout routines. For cardio, I like to mix up the intensity and impact levels. I make sure to walk daily. Favorite time to clear my head, and I'm a fan of incorporating bursts of jogging and running. I also do a lot of core strength workouts, and I'm enjoying interval training." Now, I just recently watched somebody go up in an F-16, and for the longest time, I thought, maybe I just changed. My age has changed. I thought, no, I'd do that. After seeing that video?
Yeah, I'd do it in a minute.
No, thanks.
In a minute. My sister got a couple of family members that have gotten to do it. And, yeah, I'd do it in a minute.
You think so?
Oh, man.
I mean, but how many G's you willing to entertain?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to be the guy. I'll take them all, but I would like to feel a little something.
I think, certain maneuver, like 4 Gs, 5 Gs, which is enough to be like, ooh.
But I'm not even so much the G-force. I want to do some acrobatics. I want to do some upside down stuff. I want to go buzz my neighbor's house.
That's how you get to 7, 8, 9, and it starts. You're going to pass out.
Yeah, that's fine. He's at the wheel. So I said, let's go for a ride. But I don't want to be one of those guys, and I've seen them that say they can take it, and then 2 minutes later they're puking their guts out in the back seat. I don't want to be that guy either.
Well, the one guy I was watching, he actually let his head. He didn't stay like stiff. He let his head bobble, and it created this thing with his inner ear where he's like, "I'm done. I wanted to keep going." Like they had just done a 9G maneuver, but he's like, because of that bobblehead thing, he's like, I can't. I got to stop. And it took him like 10, 20 minutes to kind of just feel normal again.
Oh, I bet.
Completely knocked off his equilibrium. I don't know. I think at this point in my life,
do it.
Flight and space flight and all that stuff, that's for other people.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. You would do it in a heartbeat.
I'd do it in a minute, man.
Would you get on a?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm that guy though. I've always been that guy.
There are some things that too cool not to do.
Yeah.
That's
but
fair.
like wing walking, I think that's really cool. I couldn't do it. The guys that get on the biplanes and walk out on the wings, I couldn't do that in a gazillion years.
If I'm secured, if I'm like tied down to something, I'm all good.
We better start it from the get-go, because once I get up there, I ain't getting out of that seat.
Now, but this astronaut, Kelly Girardi, Virgin Galactic, they're doing the tourism thing with Blue Origin, quick trips. Would y'all do that?
Yeah, I would.
Nah, I'm not too interested.
As long as I don't have to do some big 6-week workout,
That's a thing. I think you might have to have good
if I buy a ticket and get on the ride, we're good. But if I got to do this whole take extra G stuff and all that, I probably wouldn't do it.
I'd like to go to space. That wouldn't be bad.
Go to the planetarium.
The planetarium?
Make a stop by this guy's house I know. Wait about 30 minutes, then go to the planetarium. Just like you've been there.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Being enhanced?
Possibly.
Okay.
Elevated.
Elevated. I can see more than I ever thought I could ever see.
That Tolkien, actually, I heard that once. There was a clip of him talking about beer, and he's like, "Yes, I love to feel, elevated. So I love, as you know, beer,
beer. Oh, those old timers with all their boozing.
They live to smoking and boozing and live to be 1,000.
Yep,
I know. I do worry about we're all getting just soft at this point.
I agree.
I'm trying not to be soft, but I know compared to like a few generations back, yeah,
yeah,
I'm soft.
Anytime I enter a room and don't see ashtrays everywhere, I'm just reminded of the decline of our civilization.
Or spittoons.
I remember that. Always remember that. It's the one detail of the old congressional hall. And there are all these brass spittoons at every congressman's desk. And I'm like, man, back when men were men.
Oh, yeah.
True.
How would you like to be
True
a job
fellas.
if you were the dumper of the spittoons?
Ooh,
right.
Maybe they made it like some big honor. That's gross,
Like
man.
Johnny Crapper?
Well, apparently my great grandmother used to do that stuff.
Oh, yeah. My great grandmother used to snuff her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think hers, my great grandmother's chew. And just like, well, she'd cheat at spades. And everybody knew she did. And she'd always deny it. And she'd cheat at spades. Just like he was spitting. Oh, God. Rest
Times
her
were a little
soul.
tougher then. So, yeah.
That's snuff. That'll get that. I tried that one time.
Me too.
It was like, it's like I did a line of pollen for the next 2
Yeah,
hours.
that's
I was like,
awful.
What is this?
Yeah. And how folks could just get as used to it as anything else. Like,
Yeah.
We're all right.
I always watch them do that in those old movies, and I'm like, are these people doing blow? Like,
Right.
That's what I always assumed they were doing.
Yeah, it's like it's very, very cocaine-y habits you have there with the snuff. With the snuff, sitting there, take a pinky and a thumb.
Yep.
I guess the most recent movie that brings that to mind is Fighting in a Basement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Called
a
The
good
Mexican
movie.
Standoff.
It's a great movie.
So I was telling you off air, I've been getting into, they're worth your while if you want to do deep dives on some of the cabinet members, folks. This is the All In podcast, which these are all very successful people within Silicon Valley, very successful businessmen and investors.
Mhm.
One of the members of the All In group is David Sachs, who's now the White House AI and crypto czar. So they're all very tied in. And this is what gets me is like all the folks that were supporting Clinton and Gore in the 90s,
Mhm.
they're almost to a person working, not just backing Trump, like working at the Trump White House.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of the tech bros.
Interesting.
There's still some divisions, obviously.
There's going to be some.
And the majority of billionaires still support the Democrats, which is, you know, AOC and Bernie can keep saying we're fighting the oligarchy or something. It's like, no, you're not.
No.
You're not fighting anything. But this, we'll start with a quick clip here. This is Scott Besson, and he's essentially defending Elon and DOGE. Let's listen into the Treasury Secretary.
That I am completely aligned with what Elon's doing. And everyone says, well, do you have to do it so fast? Do you have to do it? I like I said, I've only been in this business for 7 weeks. I've only been in DC for 8 weeks. The thing I can tell you is if you don't move fast, the vested interest will weigh you down.
Totally.
Like the quicksand will come up, or
The claws get
the claw. Yeah, everybody's got lobbyists. Everybody's got.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Within a 10-mile radius of here,
Yeah.
25% of the GDP of the U.S. pulsates through here
Pulsates.
every day.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to just skim a little. 'Cause I said to Elon, we were in a meeting, and I said, you know, people are mad at you because you're moving their cheese. And he goes, it's not their cheese. It's the American people's cheese.
100%. Every dollar spent goes into someone's pocket, and that person's going to fight tooth and nail to get that dollar to keep flowing into their pocket. And it's a very, like, there's no winning in Elon's role. There's every single time he takes action, there are people that are going to come after him, that are going to come after the administration. There's no and obviously gets recast, reclassified in the media as being something different, but there's nothing but downside as you make these changes to individual organizations that participate. And then it takes a while for the flow of that money to find its way, or those individuals to find their way back into the productive private economy. That's where I think there's a big gap and a big challenge in the perception of the actions that are going on with the changes right now. is everyone sees the cuts, but they don't see the benefits.
And by the way, this mentality, you spend a lot of time down there at the State House. Like, even with the so-called Republican supermajority, that is very much a mentality down there.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It's all like government contracts and even like the whole workforce, like development. What do they call it? Yeah, business, economic development. It's all government driven.
Yeah,
and crony.
all government driven and all designed to funnel money to people that have negotiated for that money.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, if you go too far, though, they might throw you in prison.
Only if you criticize Israel. What? Sorry.
Wait, Mike Hubbard criticized Israel?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the feds. I love sleep. I didn't sleep well.
Please don't rant about AIPAC today. I don't. Actually, you can if you want.
No, my brain is baby food today, so I shan't be ranting about anything.
But I just liked the tone of that. Was the first interview where the Treasury Secretary Bessent actually looked relaxed.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of them on CNBC and Bloomberg, and the one he did with Brett Baer. And this one, it's about an hour and a half. He's just he's with guys who can speak his language, and he is much more at ease, and it makes for a good interview. The other guy who is really becoming, I think, one of the better storytellers of the administration is this fella, Howard Lutnick. And apparently, I learned from this interview that Lutnick and Trump have been friends for 30 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, going way back. So, and the same thing with the special envoy, Steve Witkoff. Him and Trump go way back as well. So it's like Trump's brought in very successful people like Lutnick and Witkoff alike. Bessent as well. I learned, I just told you off air, Bessent's the guy who helps George Soros break the Bank of England all those years ago.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it becomes you get to such a high level, it becomes a small world where everybody kind of knows everybody. And you might now, a guy you worked with 20 years ago, you're on the complete opposite side of politically. But, you know, one of the attack vectors in particular, because it's what they do, scaring old people and those on disability, is you're stealing our Social Security money, right? He's going to shut down Social Security. Just Elon himself is going to do it.
Joey, you've seen all the fraud that they've found so far.
Oh, but without evidence. That's the whole. I love that media line.
Okay.
But here's Lutnick kind of talking about the whole Social Security attack. Let's listen in.
Fired ever for sending money to the wrong place. People send it on purpose. I'm not saying everybody sends it on purpose. I'm saying there are some people who send it on purpose.
Yeah.
Some people who are complete morons, and an enormous number of people who work for the government who are awesome. I mean, amazing people, right? But what percentage? Okay, if there's 5.9 million people who work for the government, you're like, wow,
too many.
That's like so many, and we're paying them all. And how many do you really need? I mean, if the answer is 2 million, wow. And we could talk about how we understand it and how we're going to retrain society for the AI industrial revolution is coming, which is going to create the greatest set of jobs and greatest set of growth ever. Okay. But then we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But the key is stop sending money to the wrong place so we can make sure we can always defend sending money to the right place. I would never allow, if I can stand it, to not pay somebody who retired at 65 their benefits.
Yeah,
I find it disgusting when we're the richest country in the world and some politician says, in order to save Social Security, rather than getting rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse, we should move it to 70.
Yeah.
How about no? How about we're rich enough to give people the benefit of the bargain of being a great American, but let's put great people in charge.
That's really well said.
Yeah, and this is what's very frustrating is that tactic, though, still works to a great deal. And when you're trying to explain, it's like, no, you literally had, at one point in the interview, they talk about remember the PPP loans during COVID? A lot of that went to all these like Chinese, like
so much fraud.
Shell companies.
Fraud.
They just spun up a company real quick.
And the
Oh,
money
we're in
was
trouble.
gone out of the U.S. I mean, you could follow the money. It was out of the U.S. 24 hours. It's gone.
Right. And a lot of folks said, without evidence, Elon Musk saying all these people are too young or too old or getting payments. Well, Social Security has built-in controls where that doesn't happen. Yeah, but that number was still used to get Small Business Administration loans during COVID. How many other programs and financial transfer, how many times do people get money using some fake Social Security number? or 8-year-olds actually running businesses during COVID and they needed some support from the feds. Like, give me a break.
No, but that information was right there. I mean, he just said people do this on purpose. Not everyone does,
Yes.
but you know as well as I do, in any business, there are dirty people out there. But if if you will not get fired for giving people money, why would you not?
Now, here's the next one. I'm going to move on to something else. This is Lutnick talking about the general tariff strategy of the United States. Let's listen into some of this, at least.
Was built on tariffs with no income tax. No income tax till 1913. None. Greatest, richest country in the world. So when Donald Trump says, make America great again, what he's talking about is from 1880 to 1913, when the country had so much money that we had blue ribbon commissions, which you guys would have been on, right? To try to figure out how to spend the money.
Right.
No, and real quick, understanding a little bit of economic history, not just of this country, but of at least the history we know of the world. That period he just mentioned, say 1880 to about 1913, I think that is the greatest growth in prosperity in human history.
Yep.
And there were no income taxes. And that's what he's getting at. I like the idea of no taxes on Americans, income taxes. I love that idea, on at least most Americans.
Right, and no income tax. Then we put in the income tax in 1913. Why? Because we're entering World War I.
Yeah.
And don't we all need to contribute to protect democracy and to protect our way of life?
It's amazing
Right?
how old that
then
idea is.
what happens is the world goes into chaos. We come out of chaos, right? And then we're starting to think of, well, what do we do? What do we do? And then 1929, the stock market crashes, right? 1933, we start to say, oh, God, we forgot. We need to do tariffs. 1933, how can you do tariffs when the markets crash, the world's going into depression, and you're going to do tariffs in 1933? You can't charge the rest of the world money unless the rest of the world's okay.
That's right.
So it was too little, too late, right? So then we come out of World War II. It's 1945. We need to rebuild the world. Okay, so we decide we're going to take our tariffs down. And we'll let them, here's the key, we'll let them have tariffs be up. And we will export the power of our economy to let them rebuild. And we'll let them rebuild. And that's what happens. So 1945, we have the Marshall Plan, right? And we do it in Japan, of course, because they need to be rebuilt. What's the difference, right? So they need to be rebuilt. And then what happens? We have the 50s and we have the Korean War. So we let them rebuild, which means low tariffs here, high tariffs there. Low tariffs here, high tariffs there. Then we have the Vietnam War, right? So now all of a sudden we have all of Southeast Asia. Low tariffs here, high tariffs there. You know what the best example I can give you to make it crystal clear? Kuwait. We spend almost $100 billion freeing Kuwait, right? You know who has the highest tariffs against the United States of America? The number one country with the highest tariffs against the United States of America. Kuwait. And you think, what? That's it. But here's what it is. If you go back to this understanding the way America thinks, you need to be rebuilt. You were just destroyed, right? All their oils were, you remember Red, the guy's name was Red something, and he was the guy who capped all there were fires in all the oil wells, and he capped them all, and it was amazing. So we let them put up high tariffs. But you know what the problem is? Then we forget.
Right.
And we let it go.
Yeah.
So Donald Trump comes in and says, it's got to stop.
Okay, so that's an incredible context now for tariffs. It's like, it was a long-term strategy that essentially says, okay, great, there's rebuilding to be done, sort of almost out of the largesse of America. We're going to enable that to happen. So we'll lower tariffs here and we'll support the high tariff regimes over there.
We let it happen.
We let it happen.
On purpose.
But it's an incredible thing you're also saying, though, which is that it's inexorably linked to this repetitive machinery of war, because those create these boundary conditions over and over again.
Always.
Where there's so much destruction abroad that America then feels compelled to have to do this.
Correct.
And
That's
so-
exactly right. So what happens is, and then you say to yourself, okay, I get the 40s, I get the 50s, I get the 70s, right? But 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, what? Time out. So Donald Trump gets elected 2016. Who understands this? Okay, let me give you a hint. Donald J. Trump. Who else?
Nobody. Yeah.
And then apparently the goal is the reciprocal tariffs kick in April 2nd.
Mhm.
Is number one, if you're unhappy with us matching out, let's march these down.
Yeah.
And march them down. And the ideal would be 0-0. That's actual free trade.
Free trade.
Yeah. 0 on you, 0 on me.
Mhm.
And that, I think, is an ideal situation. But I suspect what's going to happen is you won't get to 0 with certain countries.
Nope.
You're going to get that
Protectionism
element, especially, say, the Europeans and a few other countries are definitely going to still, even if they march that tariff schedule down a little bit, the idea is you're going to bring in so much money through that. They also, in this interview, talk about this gold card idea, saying they've already got 1 million people lined up to buy the 5 million a card. So you're bringing in so much money. The end goal, the aspirational goal, is no income tax on any American making under $150,000.
That's a great idea.
I love it.
Me too.
Well, because it's always been, and the Democrats who have said this to me are correct. The Republican Party seems to have an issue where they will cut taxes, say, on top earners. They will cut taxes on corporations, but they won't cut taxes for working class folks. And Trump has already introduced this idea. So when he says no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, you're already suggesting, okay, folks at the bottom end, let's say the bottom 50% of the economic ladder, no, we don't want to tax you at all. We want you to be able to just plan your own life without having to think of what you're paying Uncle Sam. And I think it's a good goal.
And all that money that is just wasted by Americans every year. I mean, we're in a tax code that should be easy enough. You should be able to get a postcard and they say, okay, this is what you owe. But instead, they made a whole industry just out of tax preparation for businesses and individuals.
Now, out of fairness, I got to play some of what the Democrat media is saying. And by some of it, I mean like 20 seconds.
Oh, okay.
This is Anna Navarro, who I remember those days where the reason Joe just loves Hunter.
Ah, okay.
That's why he's defending his
Okay.
son. He just loves, that's why he gave him a pardon. He just loves his son. But here's Anna Navarro saying, well, I'll just let her speak for herself.
Police departments in South Florida are signing cooperation agreements to be deputized as ICE. When we, I keep thinking, okay,
This is going to be
this is going to change the way folks, they're gleeful. Everybody I know who voted for Trump is gleeful and supportive of everything he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Because he's actually doing what we voted.
That's what he said he'd do.
Yes.
Reason we voted for him.
Yeah, and the only complaint I have is you're not doing it fast enough.
Right. You need to double down. I don't. If you vote for a politician and they do what you want them to do, you're not supposed to be happy about that?
No, well, because you who voted for Trump and he's doing the things you just don't understand how much it's going to hurt you. Because we need this government-based system that everybody is, everybody's just taken care of a little bit.
I understand.
And is dependent on being taken care of a little bit.
I appreciate what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I don't understand.
We can't have this dynamic society where people
we
rise
can.
up on their own merits. That's not allowed. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. It's 334-272-9228. Line 1, you're on there. Who's us?
Hey, this is Clint.
Hey, Clint, how are you?
Yeah, getting by. Hey,
deal.
that one caller you had, he said we spent how much money in Kuwait?
About $100 billion.
Yeah, I got news for him. We didn't spend a dime.
So operating
Kuwait?
the military to kick out Saddam doesn't cost money?
No, Kuwait paid that bill for America. And the Prince of Kuwait, which I met, he wanted to pay every military personnel that was there $100 a day for being there. And President Bush said no. And my soldiers were so teed off.
I bet they were.
Yeah, because Bush said we're not a military for hire. And my soldiers said, Sarge, why aren't we here then? And they said, would you take that $100 a day? I said, I surely would.
Yep.
We deserve that money. You doggone right to be taken. But Bush turned it down. No, we didn't spend nothing on Kuwait. Does it show or does it show? I know that for a fact. So,
Okay.
all right. Have a good day, guys.
You too. See you, Clint. Have a great weekend, bud.
Because Clint was there.
A lot of my buddies were
operating the tank. Yeah. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Roger.
Hey, Roger.
Up in Wetumpka. Did you see Tucker Carlson's thing with The Economist?
No. Lightsinger?
No, it's Economist. He had an Economist on this Tucker Carlson network recently. I saw it last night, and it answered a lot of the questions about the Trump stuff.
I have not seen that. That snuck by
You
me.
need to look. You need to go see that because they'll make them answer a lot of questions.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the most recent interview. I'm looking it up now.
Yes, the most recent interview.
Let's see. Well, I'll have to find it, but
Okay. I just let you know about it though.
Well, thank you, Roger.
Thank you, Roger.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Bye.
272-92288. Again, if you want to get in on the conversation, and we can go back to arguing about fishing or whatever else y'all want. But let's see.
Is that it?
That might be it. Yeah, Lightsinger.
Yeah.
Lighthizer. Robert Heitleiser. Or what?
Heitleiser?
Lice?
Lighthizer.
He did.
I wonder what his grandfather's political views were.
He's actually goes back to the old German aristocracy.
Yeah.
NASA.
Oh, I don't know that. I'm just guessing. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. You're thinking of selling your home. Here are several ways to improve the look of your home and possibly the value. Number one, improve the curb appeal with trim bushes and cut the grass. Repaint the exterior where needed, and if needed, paint your front door. Number two, declutter the inside of the home by removing items that are not needed off countertops, dressers, and the den. 3, paint walls and trim where needed with a fresh coat of paint in a light color that will show off your home. 4, clean your oven and microwave inside and out, make it shine. Number 5, professionally clean carpets or shine the wood floors with a polish or Bono. 6, clean out all closets or unwanted clothes, shoes, belts, hats, and donate them to a local charity. Finish any leftover repairs now, doorknobs, light bulbs, and closet doors. For a complete list and an in-person evaluation and consultation, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdis. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. For over 21 years, Blue Water Broadcasting has been a proud part of the River region. We're not just a company, we're your neighbors. Our owners, air staff, account executives, and support team all live right here. We believe in this community, and we stand by our slogan, Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After this recent temperature setback, we're looking forward to the warming trend over the weekend. But for tonight, mostly clear, not quite as cold. Overnight low temperature down to about 40. Nice recovery tomorrow with plenty of sunshine up to about 76 Saturday. We'll be near 80 or close to it on Sunday. Lots of weekend sunshine for here and the Gulf Coast beaches. A little cooler on the beach with highs in the 60s. Then showers and thunderstorms become likely Sunday night. Some of those could be on the strong side. We'll watch it for you. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Vanderbilt and St. Mary's. Is that even a real? What is it with all these Catholic colleges doing well at basketball?
March Madness, man.
Yeah, and I guess there's more parity in basketball than there is in things like football. You don't need as many people to actually pull something like that off. Again, 272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation. Now, I want to go to this video out of Serbia. This is just crazy. And we'll have to describe it for folks in radio land because you can hear like whistles and stuff. But let's just check it out together. And you see those guys like right there, they're running.
Yeah.
Like they kind of knew what was coming. So what? How many people would you say that is? Like 100, 200, 300?
About
200 people.
300, I would say.
Yeah, and like pretty much painting a street. It's like packed in people protesting on the street. And you're like, okay, everybody's just standing there protesting. And the way the crowd starts parting, hear people screaming, you think something's coming down the street.
Whoa.
Acoustic weapon, man.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Go on YouTube. There's a
weird
bunch of videos of them out there testing, man. It is crazy.
There are other close-up videos where it's like you're in the crowd and the reaction of people's faces is like, this is the worst thing. Run away. Worst feeling, worst sound ever. That's a little unnerving.
Yeah, that was bizarre, dude.
Joey, they call that crowd control.
Yeah, because again, it looks like something's coming down the road.
Oh, it's coming.
But it's nothing. It's just a sound.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Oh man, I've seen them. I mean, they've been around for years, but I've seen them. They'll have it looks like a satellite device, and it's pointable. You can turn it up, go further, down to go
A
less.
long-range acoustic device, commonly referred to as a sonic weapon.
Mm-hmm. Make your brain
A piercing
vibrate, man.
noise during a moment of silence caused panic and injuries. Protesters reported hearing loss.
Sonic boom.
Yeah. I don't know how much I want to mess with that. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Steve.
Hey, Steve.
I just have a question for you guys. Maybe you can answer. Okay, they got this idiot Jasmine Crockett down in Texas now.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to that other loudmouth, that Sheila Jackson Lee? Where is she?
I don't know. I haven't heard from her in a while. I can look it up.
Don't think she's in there anymore, is she?
That's what I was wondering.
She died in 2024.
Oh.
She died in 2024?
July 19th, 2024. Died at
Really?
the age of 74.
Huh. So, and they replaced her with that idiot Crockett.
I guess so.
I guess so, yeah.
She had pancreatic cancer. That's awful.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, that was my question.
Yeah, Greg Budell just texted me. Sheila Jackson is dead. Thank you, Greg, for listening.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank you,
That
Steve.
was my question.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah. By the way, Jasmine Crockett, big old phony. All that stuff she puts on, fake. So fake.
Just a little ratchet.
People looked up like her elementary school.
Yeah.
And like today, if you wanted to send your kid to the elementary school she went to, it was like 30 grand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, come on. She's definitely putting on a show. and
She
I don't-
went to Cranbrook. That's a private school. Clarence' parents had a real good marriage.
Well, and I think it's a mistake of Democrats and the left to think the whole drawl of Trump is just the insults.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like if you have that skill and you can be funny while insulting or putting somebody down, okay, that's to your credit. But it has a lot more to do with a general authenticity, which is not what I'm getting. I'm seeing just more performers up there and not performing as well as, say, others are. Especially the more I watch JD Vance, I'm like, take that guy seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take
I'm
him
liking-
really
I'm really liking the
seriously.
Vance. Yeah.
Because, like, especially lately, the amount of chemistry between him and Trump, thinking back to like Mike Pence.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Like, I don't know if you heard the Vance clip earlier this week, Craig, but JD had quite a zinger to throw out there. Let me see if I still have it. Maybe I don't. Oh, well. But he was asked, here it is. JD was asked, how are you doing the job differently than Kamala Harris? You know, being Veep. How are you doing the job differently? Let's just listen to this.
How are you doing the job differently than Kamala did it?
Well, I don't have 4 shots of vodka before every meeting. That's one way I think that Kamala really tried to bring herself into the role is these word salads, and I think that I would need the help of a lot of alcohol to answer a question the way that Kamala Harris answered questions.
No, and given how quickly JD Vance has climbed the ladder,
yeah,
watch out for that guy.
Yep.
Well, and I think back to that debate he had with Walz, and it was a masterclass. Like, it really, I think what unnerved Tim Walz the most is like when JD, like, very empathetically said, like, I feel for what you've been going through and what your fan. It was that some event, I forget about it. But the way he delivered it, like Walz didn't know. Wait, you're the bad guy. You can't say nice things to me like you're an actual human being. That's
so
not
sorry
allowed.
for you being such an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just. And Vance has got social media game. This whole memeing of him,
Yeah.
I think only just helps.
Yeah.
Even the ones that are like, ooh, what is that? Like, he's become the king of memes essentially at this point. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Simpler days.
Hey,
Simpler Days.
Well, I think Brother Vance is definitely a lot more forceful, aggressive, tough-minded than Tampon Tim would have been. So
Yes.
we're all better for that. Did you happen to see the litigation that's going on in the city of Birmingham with one of these community developers that has persuaded the city of Birmingham to give him $2 million in cash, a $3 million forgivable loan if certain conditions are met, and an optional $1 million loan once the project is 90% completed in Inslee, a poor section of Birmingham. But the problem is for the residents and the landowners that got hoodwinked into this project, it never has started in so many years now.
Oh,
and
really?
See, you need to read about it. And see, this is why, they're all the time hollering about a citizen review board for law enforcement. Hell, they need a citizens review board for the city council and the mayor. And this is the reason our mayor wanted to have total control and not to have a check and balance, because this is the kind of crap that goes on when you allow them to have that total and complete power with no check and balance.
Hey, Craig, have you had any luck getting the mayor's travel schedule? Expensive?
It's a work in progress.
Fair.
Well,
he smiled when he said that, folks. So
that just if we can find the overseas travel, that would be a start, or either the travel to Malibu, why the police memorial service was going on, why the yearly event, big time city event called the Camellia Bowl, why he was out of state, out of town, out of the country. It would be nice to know who paid for all that. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Appreciate it, Simpler Day. Let's go to Pete. Hey, Pete, how are you doing?
Good afternoon, Jody. How are you today?
Good.
Hey, you were talking about singers with J.D. Vance. I read one where old Human gave AOC, where she's got her knickers in a twist about the illegal aliens or immigrants, whatever you want to call them. And Human said, I like the fact that I can live in her brain rent-free.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Tom Homan is not suffering any fools. And the interview he did with Stephen A. Smith was just downright great. Yeah. I like Stephen A. being the voice of reason for Democrats right now.
Yep. I like the way this administration is just going scorched earth on these Democrats.
It's the only way to do it.
Yep. So y'all have a good weekend.
Appreciate
you
it,
too.
Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, and that All In podcast with Howard Lutnick. Lutnick was actually the guy running the transition. He had no plan to be Commerce Secretary. It was Lutnick, and of all people, all these executive orders Trump has signed in the first 2 months.
Yeah.
It was Linda McMahon.
Really?
Yeah. So it was Lutnick and McMahon who were really running this thing, and Lutnick was having so much fun putting together the team, and in particular, they emphasized people that could actually tell good stories, who could actually deliver a message well. They said, well, you should be Commerce Secretary. But I found it interesting that, Linda McMahon got a little bit of spotlight because of this whole order yesterday to start to dismantle the Department of Education, which is fantastic. But apparently Linda is the one who was really doing a lot of the hard work for the transition, which I'm not surprised by.
No.
I'm honestly, if any woman can put up with Vince McMahon as your husband for how many years, goodness gracious. I do love that whole Vince McMahon lawsuit was settled. And they all of a sudden, didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Amazing what a check will do.
Yeah. Well, it's also amazing when you actually lawyer up and it's like, yeah, we did a lot of freaky stuff, but it wasn't non-consensual woman.
Right. Remember that paper you signed? All is good.
My goodness. I mean, by the way, Paul Levesque or Triple H doing a great job with WWE. Really, actually, it's kind of a lot of fun to watch these days.
Making money?
Yeah. And the Netflix deal and the...
I forgot about the Netflix deal. Yeah.
No, it's you can see Triple H fingerprints all over it, and he's doing a heck of a job. It's actually back to being quite engaging. And I don't waste too much time on that. But
didn't he marry Vince's daughter?
Yeah, Stephanie McMahon. Yeah, there's a great photo of the first administration, Trump administration, where Linda McMahon is tapped to be the Secretary of the Small Business Administration, and it's Vince. It's around in the Oval Office. Trump sitting at the desk. You can see Vince McMahon. There's Linda McMahon right next to Trump. Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon, Triple H, and somebody captioned it, and this does include Trump as well. I love that everybody in this photo has received a Stone Cold Stunner.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, and it's true. Like even Trump, I need to have the clip on the ready. Even Trump has been stunned by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, beautiful.
Man, isn't it so bizarre how much professional wrestling is like intertwined in our culture still?
I think it represents America more than most things out there. I know a lot of folks want to say, baseball's our pastime or football's really the dominant sport still, which it is. But when you think about America, like the promotion side of America, the hype side, the absurdity, the circus, we can put on a heck of a show and make a lot of money at the same time, tell a heck of a story while we're doing it. I think it helps explain politics almost better than anything else. The whole kayfabe theory of politics.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. By the way, Politico has a piece out. I just saw it drop saying we dug into the polls. Democrats in Congress should be very afraid. That's Politico. Saying, as Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer knows better than anyone, the Democratic base is pissed off and not just a little. The intensity of the anger roiling the party is at a historic level, suggesting a breach between congressional Democrats and the party grassroots so severe it could reshape the 2026 primary election season. Congressional Democrats have typically enjoyed higher popularity with their voting base than their Republican counterparts, but the trauma of the 2024 presidential election defeat appears to have ruptured that relationship. A recent review of Quinnipiac University's annual first quarter congressional polling reveals that for the first time in the poll's history, congressional Democrats are now underwater with their own voters in approval ratings. Just 40% of Democrats approve of the job performance of congressional Democrats compared to 49% who disapprove. That's a dramatic change from this time last year when 75% of Democrats approved compared to just 21% who disapprove. The base's disillusionment runs so deep that it's eerily reminiscent of Republican grassroots sentiment in the period leading up to Donald Trump's takeover of the Republican Party. The numbers are clear. No longer satisfied with the status quo in their party, Democrats are on the verge of a Tea Party-style intra-party revolt. Good! Have I not been calling for this for a while? I'm not even a Democrat, but I think that's exactly what they need.
There's no doubt.
Which, by the way, if you're, say, a local official and you're hitching your wagon to the national leadership of the Democratic Party, maybe need to wake up.
Ooh.
And realize
Nobody in particular.
There's a lot of opportunity for yourself and for your cause. And just saying, if you're a little bit original, it might go a long way, fellas. Or ladies.
Who's going to say?
Ooh, who's going to be?
Sexism there.
Yeah, it could be the ladies.
Could be.
Mm-hmm. I want to look up that all-female Virgin Galactic suborbital space flight.
As long as you ain't flying on it.
No, I think I'm anatomically barred from that.
One of those last few plane crashes we had, I believe it was all female crew.
Oh, look at the time.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Is your business feeling the heat of cyber attacks? Tired of worrying about ransomware, data breaches, downtime, and employee mistakes? GTI Managed IT Solutions has been your trusted partner since 1999, safeguarding and supporting businesses like yours from the ever-evolving threats in the digital world. GTI, your peace of mind is guaranteed. Call us today at 819-4650 or visit gtinow.com.
For 65 years, Guardian Credit Union has been your trusted financial partner. And now we're proud to extend that trust further by introducing Guardian Insurance Services. Whether protecting your home, car, or even your business, we've got the coverage that fits your needs. Our team is here to guide you every step of the way with the personalized service you know and love. Call 334-819-7555 for a free quote today. Guardian Insurance Services, building on 65 years of trust, now safeguarding your future.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Final moments here, and that means it's time to talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Oh, it's been a all right Friday.
I'm telling you, it's just, I looked up, it's 3 o'clock. Good gracious. I got David over here, and he said he's watched everything on YouTube. They just cut him down. I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, he reached the end of it.
Wow.
He reached into YouTube.
Yeah.
That's a record.
Wow.
And then Bart's sitting over here with his head in paperwork figuring a VA loan or a VA project for a shower. I don't know if that's the one you were talking about, Eddie.
Might have been, dude. That's a heck of a project. He's going to be there in a minute.
Yeah, if it is, I really appreciate that. If not, don't forget we will do VA projects.
That's
if
right.
you are a veteran and you're thinking, man, I've got to have a shower I can walk in and out of because I can't get in and out of my bathtub, we can help you with that project. If you're looking for anything from epoxy floors in your garage to your back porches need to be done, total house remodels, whatever it is, we'll come in, give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a floor down. Just that simple.
Just call them up, 285-8117, and be sure to tell them, hey, I heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Hey, is Alabama just trying their best to make Auburn look better than them?
It seems
Auburn
like it.
struggled on the first one, and then Alabama just about lost this game today up to the last minute.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was making a lot of folks
what are
nervous.
y'all doing? Come on. We're
Making y'all nervous?
The first round, we should dominate everybody's first round.
I kind of thought so too, but we struggled with ASU for the first few minutes. So
Yeah, well, maybe we're just trying to help our little brothers feel better. How about that?
I'll go with that.
Because, I mean, they're right there beside each other. You
Yeah.
know, they might as well be brothers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not going to throw stones at it. They better do better next round.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, y'all have a good weekend.
Take care, Ray. See you, brother.
So we learn anything today?
I learned that Eddie needs to get some sleep. He's been very tired.
I don't know what it
Both
is.
of y'all.
It kind of came over me here last hour.
No, not
so.
me, bro. Not me. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Man, I'm looking
You
at
should
myself
go
in the camera.
back.
I really do look haunting. in
Yeah,
this.
dude, go back and watch.
You just, at one time, you looked
watch
so
the show
pale.
today.
The paleness of you.
Yeah, watch the show from today, because I would be looking over as I'm talking about a thing, and you're just like, I'm like, did I do something? Like,
You've offended me deeply, Jeff.
I didn't pee
This
your
is
tea.
this is my sulking face.
By the way, you want to see a great wrestling moment when Chris Jericho peed in some guy's tea, and the reaction is he sips it. It's fantastic.
Get out of here.
You know it's not real, though, right? You still know it's not real.
What's not real?
Wrestling?
That's what I thought.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, I know it.
Hey, Eddie.
Yeah.
Can't fake gravity, brother.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's